Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I love it.
My name's Jay Milne. Hashtag Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coop.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Cup. Guter, Gleben, Glauchen, Globen. How you doing, everybody? I have plans tonight. I don't know about everybody else. I'll try to focus on the program. I guess I got nowhere else to be until they hit the stage at about 9 o'clock tonight. 9 being, of course, legendary rock band Def Leppard playing the, I don't even know what the festival's called. Is it Rockin' Thunder or Rollin' Thunder, Coop?
It's Rockin' Thunder in the Ice District.
It's Rockin'
like
Thunder.
That.
Well, it's not in the Ice District.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So if they called it that, they're really foolish. It's in the Exhibition Lands Racetrack. That's officially what they're calling it. It's the middle of the old racetrack at Northlands.
It's pretty rockin'.
It's going to be awesome. So I think it's already started, or it's starting right away. The lineup today: Took, Queensryche, Bret Michaels, Joan Jett, and the Blackhearts. And Def Leppard. So I might get there in time to see Joan Jett. I believe Def Leppard is on the stage at 9. This will be, Coop, and everybody listening, the 14th time seeing them live, which doesn't seem like that many. I mean, some people have seen their favorite bands hundreds of times.
I haven't even seen 14 concerts, Reid.
Well,
so that is a lot of time to see one. If you can't count on your hands how many times you've seen a band, it's a lot.
Well, but you were literally less than half my age. And would you say you like a band as much as I like Def Leppard? I don't know if you have that band in your life.
Metallica, but they're going to be old and stinky.
Did you go see them at in the round at Commonwealth, the 2 separate shows?
I only saw them once. Like there's nobody I would say that I would want to see in back-to-back days, back-to-back concerts.
The late Bill Walton, but Metallica did different songs. I mean, they gave you fuel, they gave you fire. They gave you that which you desire. Ooh. Apparently, Bill Walton, the late Bill Walton, great former NBA player and broadcaster, saw the Grateful Dead over 850 times. Now, this is a loose estimate. There are some estimates that say Bill Walton saw the Grateful Dead over 1,000 times. I think he would just follow them around on some of their tours. So anyway, I'm going to Def Leppard tonight. We will talk a lot about the Edmonton Elks, their game coming up on Sunday on Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. Kurleigh Gittens Jr., receiver for the Elks, is going to check in. Some notes here sort of affecting the Edmonton Oilers or involving former Oilers. David Pelche, who's been the Oilers skating coach for several seasons, of course, former figure skating great. He used to skate with Jamie Soleil. He is joining Glenn Gullitson's staff on the Dallas Stars as an assistant coach. And as you heard the boys, Gager and Salas, talking about on EST Afternoons from 1 to 3, outstanding program, by the way. I mean, that is such a high-quality show. If you start with the Reid Wilkins show on EST, I appreciate it, but there's a whole bunch of stuff leading into this show that is absolutely incredible, starting at 6 a.m. with the Nielson show. So check out the other programs on this station if you haven't already. So David Pelche joining the Stars as an assistant coach, and Jeff Skinner. Jeff Skinner has signed with the San Jose Sharks on a 1-year deal. The guy who finally played his first playoff game as a member of the Edmonton Oilers this past season. How you doing, everybody? In case you don't know, I'm Reid Wilkins. Jason Milne is off today. He'll be back on Monday. The Coob, Zachary Kubish, is here as your sports update deliverer and your technical producer. Coob, how are you, my young friend?
I'm good. It's a Friday. Things are going nice outside. Enjoying the day. Feeling good and feeling primed, I guess, for the weekend. I don't get to see Def Leppard, but... yeah, primed for the show as well.
Who knows? Maybe you'll find a ticket. So here's the thing for Def Leppard. So I'm going with my buddy Zip. Chris, his name's Chris Zip. Great guy. longtime friend of mine. We met because we started in university because I asked him about his Van Halen T-shirt. So incredible friendship. God, we've been friends over 30 years. And I think this might be the 9th or 10th time we've specifically seen Def Leppard together, which is pretty cool. So he's going with another buddy, and then I'm joining them. So he's going to text me at some point. I don't have my ticket, and he's getting the tickets, I guess, at will call, but he can't pick up all three. So I got to go get in. And then he texted me today because he said you can bring a lawn chair. So I got a lawn chair in my car ready to go. But then he said he said you have to bring a soft lawn chair that fits into a bag. So I had to go to Canadian Tire and I bought one of those like folding chairs that you slide into a bag. Hopefully it's not too big. I guess if they don't allow me in, whatever, I go in and stand. I'm probably only maybe I'll see Joan Jett, but I'm certainly going to see Leopard. So I'm excited for this. I kind of hadn't been thinking about it as much as some other concerts, but now as we approach, it's the day of getting ready to see them tonight. Looks like the weather is going to be pretty good. I must admit, I'm quivering with anticipation. You ever seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Coop?
No.
That's what that's from. What's his name? Tim Curry as Frankenfurter.
Frankenfurter.
Hey?
So
yes.
Is this a movie?
Yes. Okay. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. How would you describe Tim Curry's character? He was a cross-dressing alien. If you've seen it, it makes sense. Otherwise, whatever.
Oh, okay. The movie poster is pretty interesting.
What else do we got here? In the nasty chat, Big Uke says, Reid is having a day, and I love this. Well, we'll see if I'm having a day. JB says, I hate myself for loving you, Reid. Thank you. That is actually Joan Jett's best song. I mean, she's often associated with I Love Rock and Roll, but I Hate Myself for Loving You is an absolute classic song. Those messages are coming into the nasty chat. That is what we call the chat stream that we have going on our YouTube feed. So if you'd like some video to accompany the show, go into the Edmonton Sports Talk YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are over 13,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. If you are on YouTube or have a chance to bounce into the YouTube feed at some point this afternoon, give us a thumbs up. We want to get to at least 100 here during a summer show where we know audience habits change a little bit in the summer, but let's at least get to 100 thumbs today. We're off to a good start, over 20, so don't hesitate. And then once you click, share the show with somebody else and text it to them or email them to them and say, hey, this show's pretty fun, taking you into your weekend, talking about the Elks, talking about some Def Leppard. I want to talk about Superman as well. That big movie opens today. I guess some people saw it last night already. Rip City Step in the nasty chat says, finally some Tim Curry talk. As opposed to Steph Curry. It was Tim Curry, right? The actor? Pretty sure. Mex Bezozu says that was peak Susan Sarandon. Yes, a very early Susan Sarandon. I got to see how old she was in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Susan Sarandon was born October 4th, 1946. Rocky Horror came out, I want to say 73, but that could be a little bit off. Where's her filmography? Rocky Horror Picture Show came out 75, so I guess she would have been 29 when she did that movie. Anyway, yes, we tend to meander a lot on this program as well, which is just fine. You can email me, Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. Already have a limerick coming in from Bronco Nick. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Also, email us if you have a nomination, a suggestion, someone you want to put forward for the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. We have featured 4 outstanding, all relatively young athletes so far. Yesterday, we had Jamie Landry, 10-year-old BMX racer. She was an excellent story. So send those in either to Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com or Jay at edmontonsportstalk.com, or go to our website, edmontonsportstalk.com, and fill out the submission form and keep nominating people. And don't feel like, oh, I shouldn't do it. Think of an athlete. It doesn't have to be a young. A lot of times these turn out to be younger athletes, but it could be anybody. Somebody who's done something cool, is going in a tournament, has been really committed to something, got 2 holes in one in the same week or something like that. We love to hear those stories. We love to tell those stories. That is the Pass the Pantry Athlete of the Week. You can also text us. Cooper, are you monitoring the afternoon inbox today?
Eyes on it like a hawk.
You're
Reid.
looking at it. You have a hawk-like. You have a hawk-like vision of the. You have a hawk-like focus.
I am hawking.
That's what I was looking for. You are hawking Coob. Good point. So you're hawking the afternoon inbox presented by River Curb Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week. That is from 2 to 5 p.m. Coob asked me earlier today, and by the way, if you've ever worked with the Coob, he asks a lot of questions. But Coob asked me earlier today if I know the Def Leppard set list, if I look at it ahead of time. And yes, I do. And there is a website that compiles set lists and stats and how often certain bands do certain songs. So see, I'm Googling right now. It's setlist.fm. That's simply what it is. So Def Leppard's most recent concert was in Winnipeg on Wednesday. And so what are they doing? They're doing 18 songs. Now, here is the one thing I will say about Def Leppard. I'm at the point where if I've seen one Def Leppard concert, I've seen them all because they don't change the set list too much. For this one, they are bringing back a song that they haven't done for a while, maybe for 4 or 5 tours. They are doing a song called Die Hard the Hunter, which I think I've only heard live once. So that's an interesting choice there. They are doing a song off their most recent album that came out, I think, 3 years ago. It's called This Guitar. It's not a great song. And they are doing a song they kind of put out, I want to say about a year and a half ago, called Just Like 73. They just put it out as a single. Tom Morello. What band is Tom Morello from? He was in Audio Slave, wasn't he?
Slave, yeah. He's actually coming here to K-Days.
Rage Against the Bulls? Was he Rage Against the Machine?
The Longhorns or something? Rage Against the Machine.
He was
Audio
Rage
Slave,
Against the Machine.
Prophets of Rage, too.
So he played in that. Things, yeah. But other than that, I mean, they're hitting all the standards, 2 steps behind, bringing on the heartbreak, into Switch 625. So the one change they've made from a lot of their recent tours is they used to close out with Hysteria and Pour Some Sugar on Me, take a break, and come back and do Rock of Ages and Photograph as the encore. Now they're ending with Rock of Ages, Photograph, and the encore is Hysteria and Pour Some Sugar on Me. So I'm sure I'm going to have a good time going with one of my all-time best friends. So that'll be good. Seeing it's going to Def Leppard. Jim Ritchie says, great soundtrack, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Got to listen to it if you have not. I would agree with that. Rip City Step says, top Tim Curry roles. It. Right. He was Pennywise in the, was it the TV version of It from the mid-'80s, I want to say, that had John Ritter in it? Clue. I forgot he was in Clue. Home Alone. What is Tim Curry? Who is Tim Curry in Home Alone? Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then he has Muppet Treasure Island #5, and then Congo #6. My goodness. Jim also says, have a Rocky Horror themed show, and we could throw rice at you. Yeah. Terry says, Def Leppard, with the exception of their first album, suck. Def Leppard went too sappy. Well, Terry, thanks for your feedback. If you don't like him, don't listen to him. That's all I can say. Like, Terry, you're not going to hurt my feelings by insulting something that I like, okay? You're not going to bait me into an argument over your opinion on Def Leppard. You really aren't. If you don't like someone's art or music or whatever, don't engage with it. It's that simple. It's that simple. I would question that opinion because I think their first album is clearly, not yet the sound that they developed over the years. You know, I would say if you were going to pick an early album to champion as their best album, you would actually pick their second record, High and Dry. I mean, On Through the Night, to me, is still sort of a obvious freshman effort and perhaps somewhat juvenile in terms of their progression as a band. But if you like it, listen to it. And you know what? I am going to respond to something he said. Def Leppard went too sappy. All right. Well, let's look at some of their biggest hits. I don't think I don't consider Pour Some Sugar on Me a sappy song. I don't consider Photograph a sappy song. I don't consider Rock of Ages a sappy song. I don't consider Armageddon a sappy song. I don't consider Rocket a sappy song. Did they have and do they have ballads that were successful? Sure. Hysteria is a slower song. Love Bites is a slower song. Bringing On the Heartbreak off their second album, you could say, is a slower song. Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad off Adrenalize? Sure, it's a slower song. But if you look at the music of that era, a lot of bands had ballads that were successful and I suppose could be considered sappy. Now, if you think back to the 80s, why did bands do that? Because you know what? They wanted women, and specifically young women, to listen to and dance to their songs. And one way to do that was to play slower songs. Okay, was to have a ballad. Okay? So that's why they did that. Do other bands have successful ballads? Yes. Aerosmith had Angel and other songs. Bon Jovi, Never Say Goodbye, I'll Be There For You. Even Motley Crue, Home Sweet Home, Without You. Van Halen, When It's Love, Love Walks In. Things along those lines. So, sure, did Def Leppard go sappy? I guess they wrote ballads. They tried to write love songs. So did a lot of other bands from this era. Now, if you don't like that sound, if you don't like Def Leppard, that's fine. But if that's your criticism of the band, then I wonder if you feel the same way about some other bands of that era. That's what I would say. JB says, is Nickelback's Photograph a cover of Def Leppard? Okay, very funny. You know that it isn't. Wow, that's good. Also today, what was I talking about, Coop? I might be talking a lot about Def Leppard on the show today, which is fine. Well, that'll irritate some people, probably like Terry. This big Superman movie opens today, so we're going to have some fun with our off-topic topic. Coop, I hope you have an answer for this too. The off-topic topic, since provided by William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout at 780-454-4536. So, I was looking at the actors who have played Superman. Now, look, I have not seen every Superman movie. I've seen a chunk of them. I'm not as big into Superman and DC characters as I am into the Marvel stuff. Kirk Allen played Superman back in a live-action film in the late 40s. George Reeves was Superman. Christopher Reeve, of course, in the late 70s. Dean Cain was Superman on the TV show Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman. That was a long-running show. Tom Welling played Superman on Smallville, which I didn't watch that, Coop, but I guess he wasn't even Superman until the very last episode. But Brandon Routh was Superman. Henry Cavill. Is it Tyler Hoechlin or Hoechlin that played him in Superman and Lois?
I would say Hoechlin.
More recently. Yeah. And now we have David Corenswet. I think that's how you say it. I don't even know. Who's playing him in this film. So, they're all fairly good-looking, fit-looking guys. Of course, people you'd want to have playing Superman. The off-topic for William Huff today is we want to hear from you. Who would you cast as Superman? Bad casting decisions only. Okay? Who would you cast as Superman? Bad casting decisions only. Now, side note, Tim Burton was going to make a Superman movie, and Nicolas Cage was going to play Superman, which would have been pretty interesting. I don't know if that's a bad casting decision, but it would have been an interesting one. So who would you cast as Superman? Bad casting decisions only. Who? What, do you have somebody already?
Yeah, one player. Sports on the mind. One actor who isn't really even an actor, who directed a movie, wrote the movie, starred in his own movie, called The Room. It's Tommy Wiseau, who played Johnny in The Room. And we're talking about this.
Considered one of the worst films of all time.
Definitely is. I couldn't even sit down and watch past 20 minutes of it. So I would get him to play it because he has no emotion when he shows up. And his most famous line is, I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. And basically exactly like that. So
I
Tommy
still
Wiseau's
have
the man.
not seen The Room. I know for a while the Garneau, I think, was showing it almost every weekend. I don't know if they still do that. I've seen The Disaster Artist, the movie about the making of The Room, and what's his name? Tommy Wiseau, and he has like some mysterious past, and he doesn't reveal things about himself, and they don't know where he got his money from. That is an excellent choice. Somebody already put Steve Buscemi, Spency 5 Centsy in the nasty chat. Big Uke said Willem Dafoe, Mex Bezozu, Danny DeVito as Superman. That would be an interesting choice. I think Dafoe might be able to pull it off. So we'll see where that goes today. Bad casting decisions only. Who should play Superman in a movie? Bronco Nick says, is Papa Wilkins on the Art Walk tomorrow? Papa Wilkins, my dad Bob, is on Art Walk right now on White Ave. It's 3 days, 10 to 5 every day. He's set up right now. I think he already sold a couple paintings today. He didn't take his full arsenal of paintings today because the Friday crowd tends to be a little smaller. He's in front of the Scotiabank on White Ave, so that's on the north side of White Ave, between 105 and 106. He's had that spot now for probably a decade, except for the 2 years when they went into the old Army and Navy for COVID. So yes, my dad is there. Art Walk's a great event. If you want to say hi to my dad and say, hey, I listened to your son. I think he's a little freak. I wanted to see who produced him. I'm sure my dad would be happy to interact with you. If you want to buy a painting, great. He won't turn you down. If not, he likes if people just also stop and look at the paintings. And if they like it, they can say. If you think his paintings are sappy, like some Def Leppard songs, you could tell him that as well. 780-218-9999 is how you text us. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. All right. By the way, I haven't even promoted all the great guests we have today, Coop. Well, I did mention Kurleigh Gittens Jr. from the Edmonton Elks is going to join us at around 4:40 this afternoon. At 4 o'clock, a guy I've known since he was playing Junior B in St. Paul. He is now the head coach of the Colorado Eagles in the American Hockey League. Mark Letestu will hop on the show. Dustin Nielson, the owner of EST and the host of the Nielson Show, 6 to 9 a.m. every morning. He's in Regina for the showdown between the Stamps and the Riders. He's going to check in at 5, and we'll talk more superhero movies and Superman with Mark Majot, outstanding human being. He's from the MCTV podcast, which one of the platforms on which you can get the MCTV podcast is Edmonton Sports Talk. He does that with Corey Graham. He's going to hop on the show as well. And after the break, we're going to do this again. We did it last Friday. We had some fun with it. We're going to do it again. Blind rankings. Ben Thomson, our intern, is going to give me some blind rankings. Bronco Nick has Ryan Rashog as Superman. My goodness. I'm going to leave that one alone. Here comes the Coop.
Elks injury report sees Robbie Smith out for Sunday's game with a knee injury, while David Beard and Javon Leake are available for the rematch against the Lions. Bears Beard limited at practice with a calf injury. Leake a full participant in practice. You can join Matawanek J-Mail for the Green and Gold Kickoff Show live this Sunday at 4 o'clock as they tee up the action right here on EST. And CFL action today. Week 6 kicks off. Riders Stamps going toe-to-toe. Sask 4-0 on the season. Calgary 3-1. And NFL news has Ryan Poles agreeing to a 5-year extension in Chicago with the Bears. He's been their general manager since 2022. He went 5-12 last season. Former Oilers skating coach David Pelletier is headed to Dallas, becoming their assistant coach. He spent the last 11 years with the Oilers. And Jeff Skinner is signed with San Jose on a 1-year deal worth $3 million. He had 1 goal, 1 assist in 5 playoff games for Edmonton last season. In the majors, it's the Jays and Athletics opening their series just after 8 o'clock. Max Scherzer gets the ball for Toronto, and one game has just been wrapped up. Guardians beating the White Sox 4-2. 2 just moments ago. From Port Angeles, the Riverhawks then challenge the Lefties. They kick off their series with first pitch at 7:35. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. Benny's blind rankings with EST intern Ben Thomson brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
2 guys and a
What do you
goalie.
think Bowman's sell job to McDavid was about the goaltending? Hey, that comes up, right, in the conversation, right? Don't you think? No.
I don't think it does.
So if you're Connor,
Unless
they're sitting there
Connor
being like,
asks.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like,
But
you
I
think
don't
Connor
think
would
he's
be like,
the kind of guy that goes, what are you going to do about our goaltender?
yeah, what do you do about Stu? It seems like a dick thing to ask.
does.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win a trip to Osheaga with the Banquet in Aperol. We're sending one lucky guest to Montreal with flights, hotel, and 2 tickets to one of Canada's hottest music festivals. Enter by July 26. Details in store or on the Banquet app. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielson Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Must you click? Click. Must you click?
All right, there's the Thumb Click remix as put together by Zachary Kubish. If you're taking in the show using YouTube today, click the thumbs up. If you already have done that, share the show link with somebody else. Say, hey, check it out. This guy's having a good time. He's going to have some great guests today, including Kurleigh Gittens Jr. and Mark Letestu. And joining me now in the Banquet studio, Spin to Win Fridays at the Banquet. Spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. Details at thebanquetbar.com. Is our intern, our practicum student. What do you prefer, intern or practicum student?
I mean, everyone's been calling me intern, so. But
technically, you're a practicum student.
Yes.
Practicum student makes it sound like you're more serious, perhaps.
Sure. I don't care. Everyone's been asking me what nickname that I want. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lingus99 says, Benny, do you have a show tomorrow?
I do. 10 to 12 tomorrow.
Is Happy Hockey or Hello Hockey.
The podcast.
The little podcast, yes. It's live on Edmonton Sports Talk.
It is live on Edmonton
from
Sports
10 to noon. All right, we're gonna have some fun with Ben here. Coob, you're watching the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. The off-topic topic is, who would you cast as Superman in a movie? Bad casting decisions only.
So for some reason, like, this guy just jumped my head right away. And I actually think he could kind of pull it off. So this is probably bad towards your prompt. I have Kevin James.
Kevin James.
We're like Mall Cop, Paul Bart.
Oh, that guy. Well, didn't he have a show? Kevin Can Wait, was that him?
Yeah.
Was he in another one before that too? Oh, wasn't he? Was he the King of Queens?
I don't know that far, but there was a big meme that came out of it on Twitter or whatever. He had his hands in his pocket or something. Looked very uncomfortable.
Yes.
Also, what's that? He was in that UFC movie too.
He is now 60 years of age.
Yeah. Here comes a boom.
Oh, he was in. Okay, what else is coming in, Coop?
We got lots of texts coming in here. Paulie Shore is Superman coming in from Collingwood Rob.
That's pretty good.
And Pat saying current Jack Nicholson. That would be pretty good.
Well, Jack's, he's a
great.
Well, I think he's well into his
overall.
80s, and I don't think he's really acting anymore. But
No,
great
probably
actor.
not,
Played
but,
the Joker in Batman in 1989.
That's right. One-Eyed Pete checking in as well. John Travolta as
John
Superman.
Travolta.
That would be an interesting
as
one.
Superman
A musical Superman.
He could dance. Yeah. He could distract the villains with his disco dance moves.
Would different powers come with Superman if it was a different actor? Or was it
maybe.
same thing?
Yeah, like maybe with Travolta, he could like shoot sequins out of his eyes or something like
yeah,
that.
because I was thinking with Kevin James, like, I mean, watching that guy, that big of a guy fly would be kind of cool. So that's what came in my head.
Yeah, he wouldn't have the power of flight. He would just he would roll downhill.
Yeah.
He'd always have to fight the villain. He's at the top of a hill and they're at the bottom of a hill.
He'd always have to have high ground.
He would roll downhill like a giant bowling ball.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. 780-218-9999 River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Post in our chat, the nasty chat on YouTube. Who would play Superman in a movie? Bad casting decisions only. I think Coob's the clubhouse leader with Tommy Wiseau.
That's a good one.
From The Room. That is pretty good. Chris Rock coming in from Nasty Kane. That'd be pretty good.
I thought about him too. Yeah.
Danny McBride, he wasn't in. I never watched Trailer Park Boys. Was he in? That's not the same guy.
No.
You know who I'm
That's
thinking
a different
of.
guy.
Danny, was he Eastbound and Down? Was that Danny McBride?
No, that's he was in. Oh yeah, wait. Was he?
Very similar looking.
Yeah, very similar looking.
So, yeah.
He was in Eastbound and Down, The Righteous Gemstones,
which I think is still going on.
Yeah.
So
Vice Principals. This is the end.
Bronco Nick has a good one. Mr. Bean as Superman. Or Rowan Atkinson as Mr. Bean as Superman.
Yeah.
That would be pretty good.
That would be pretty good.
That'd be pretty good. Because when he's Clark Kent, he wears the disheveled suit and he's like bumbling around the office, bumbling
Mr.
around the
Bean,
newsroom, trying to get
That'd be
interviews
great.
so that he goes into Superman and his cape's always getting stuck in elevators and stuff like that.
Matawanik is confirming. He said, I legit thought Kevin James too. He just texted me that. So me and Maddie are on the same
Matawanik's
wavelength.
listening to the show?
This
What an honor.
6 to 6 today.
What an honor. He did a lot of shows today. He's working hard.
Oh, yeah.
He did a great job organizing the EST Golf Classic.
Yeah.
How was your golf? Now, was that the first time, Ben, you've been because you were one of the quote unquote celebrities. You were a featured person in the group.
It was cool. It was so cool. I mean, I got to ride with Hernan, so like Hernan was probably the bigger celebrity. But but the Combine crew was great, man. I don't know if they're in the chat or not, but I haven't seen. But yeah, they were. It was fantastic. Did we deserve to win? No, but it was a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun. It was a great crew. A lot of good beverages were had. Stations, everything was awesome. I had a blast. Yeah, definitely. Wasn't number one on the score sheet, but number one probably for most fun the group has had.
Right. Okay. But that's your first experience in that format of a tournament.
Yeah. I've never played in a golf tournament before, so that was my first time.
I do think too, because it's called a tournament. Now, I've been lucky enough, even going back to Lloydminster, when you work in TV and radio, you get to play, and we're very lucky. I mean, obviously you're not paying we didn't have to pay the entry fee.
Yep.
We get to mingle with people and hang out. But people, who might not golf or don't understand how these work, it's like, oh, you were in a tournament. Well, how did you do? And it's like, it's called a tournament. And yes, the best score there are prizes, but it's not.
It's always not filled with talent.
Yeah, I'm always you got to kind of do a double take when somebody says, "Oh, I didn't know you played tournaments."
No.
Yeah, are you in a league?
Yeah.
No, it's a tournament for often for a charity, and we had our EST Gives Back announced on Tuesday, and it's like the least competitive. Well, maybe some teams are super competitive if you actually think you can win. But it's not what you win ain't changing your life. It's not the $4 million prize you get at the Masters.
No.
And what did the last place team get? Didn't they get jean jackets?
Jean jackets, the jean jackets. That I think it was Dusty's.
I think it was
Yeah, the
Dusty's
Nielson
family.
family.
It was
Yeah,
Dusty's
yeah.
family that got last place. And obviously you can buy mulligans and all that type of stuff. So it's a little different. What are you thinking for Elks Lions here coming up on Sunday?
Man, I like this. This Elks game's huge. I mean, we've been talking about it all week. I mean, this BC game, like if you're the Elks, you need to tie this one up for a season series, right? Because you're gonna be competing against BC for a playoff spot this year, and if you forfeit that season series against them, it's gonna be tough. In terms of lines, I mean, like you got like the offense for the Elks the past couple games, especially last game against the Red Blacks. Got to see it firsthand. It was good. The defense you want to improve, not allow 30 points, hopefully, but we'll see.
Well, to be fair, one of the scores was a punt return. That's not on the defense, and then you can make an argument that final touchdown. They're just making Ottawa chip away and kill the clock.
100%.
I thought the defense. I mean, the knock on the defense, well, two knocks, has been the long passes, which they didn't really give up against Ottawa, and that they're not getting sacks.
Yeah.
I did think at Ottawa there were times they had pressure, which helped, even though they didn't get the sack. But it almost, and this is a good thing, and now we'll see what other teams do. It seemed that Sherritt adjusted. Like they played a lot of zone, they played a lot of defend the first down marker, make them throw short, and run up and make a tackle. Yep. And for stretches of the game against Ottawa, it worked, or it stymied them, or they did hold them to field goals a couple times when they needed to get touchdowns. My concern against Rourke is that he can zing the ball into tight windows, and I think he's probably going to play. Still on Sunday. So that's, and then he can also get away. Now later on I'm gonna look at his stats compared to Ford's. Yeah, and Ford's actually better if you just look at stats. But I think I still think Rourke
reputation.
I still think if Rourke is on his game, he's the best player in the league. Yeah. And I know I've liked Kolaros a lot over the years, and people might say, well, Reid, but he's not on his game enough to consider him the best. But that's fair. But I'm a little concerned that if they play sort of that passive, we dare you to go deep defense, that Rourke's going to say, fine, I can put the ball in there.
Yeah. No, 100%. Do you think they'll test Fajardo out? I was talking about this with Maddie on the hangout earlier today. Like Maddie was saying, he was maybe feeding into the Kool-Aid, drinking the Kool-Aid of the Elks, where Trey Ford talked about how I got to see from the sidelines what it was, what he was seeing, what he wanted to talk about, and Fajardo obviously stepped in for a couple of those snaps. Do you think they test that out again? Because it went south for a little bit when he stepped in, not necessarily to his fault, but
yeah, I'd like to see Fajardo play.
Yeah,
he's a good quarterback. I mean, it felt like last game they said to themselves, we're going to put him in no matter what, as opposed to saying, maybe we need to switch it up for a series. I mean, he did make that one completion where Dunbar made a great catch. So I'd like to see if they're winning or competitive and Ford has a good completion percentage, I'd like to see Ford stay in the game.
Yeah.
The thing I want to see Fajardo and the rest of the offenses do is actually convert a quarterback sneak. Yeah. I mean, they basically got stuffed twice, though the one of them they got it marked enough to get a first down.
Thankfully. Like, oh geez, that was kind of embarrassing. I was watching that from the stands, like, come on, get a yard.
Well, and the one in the second half, they needed a foot. Yeah. And I think they lost ground.
Yeah.
Which should not happen on a quarterback sneak.
No, so
the Fajardo, putting Fajardo in for those couple series was, I guess, mildly confusing. I understand it to an extent. Jay asked Maximic about it earlier this week, and he was kind of non-committal about it, but I got the sense he recognized that they don't want to force it.
Yeah.
But my bigger concern for Fajardo is that if he's on the field for a quarterback sneak, like, you got to get it.
Yeah.
And do we even need to have the backup do a quarterback sneak? I know a lot of teams do it now.
Can you give Trey that run?
Trey should be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then wouldn't the defense still be afraid, what if he fakes the sneak and tucks it around? Yeah. But that's my bigger concern about Fajardo is how bad they were specifically in those short yardage situations.
100%.
All right. Do you want to do the rankings? No, we'll do them now.
Okay. Sure.
All right. So 339 Cube, you'll probably be late into your update here, but that's okay. So Ben, is this something you're known for? Well, you look at your watch. You got to go. You got to go.
No.
Kid.
I got.
You got to be at Safeway before it closes. I need my nectarines, everybody.
I was checking the time. I was checking the time just to make sure.
Okay. No, we got time. Explain how the blind rankings work here.
So I'm going to give you a category, and then I'm going to have 5 different things that fit in that category, and you're not going to know what's going to come next. And I'm going to have you rank them from 1 to 5. The people haven't seen this. I did this last Friday. I've been doing it every show for Hello Hockey on Saturdays. So we've been having a lot of fun with it. And last week I got you pretty good with, was that John Hughes films?
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was good. It was pretty good. So today's category is Def Leppard albums.
All right.
Okay, but you're going to be ranking them based on how they scored on the website tooloudtooldmusic.com.
Tooloudtooldmusic.com.
He ranked the 12 albums from worst to best, and he gave them a
was
rating
this just
out of 5
one
stars.
guy?
I believe it's one guy.
Okay, so I don't know anything about this guy or his tastes.
Yes.
And I don't know which of you're going to give me 5 of their 12 albums.
5 of the 12 albums.
Oh my goodness. So when did he do these rankings?
February 2025.
Oh, so quite recently.
Quite recent.
Really? So it covers Diamond Star Halos, which is their most recent album.
Yeah.
So you're going to give me a name of the album, and I got to figure out where. So I would assume this guy is of a certain vintage, though.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Probably my age or older, perhaps.
Probably. I see some older albums on here. So
he's kind of I'm just trying to imagine who this is. He's maybe a guy, probably at least 45, if not 50, 55, or 60.
Probably.
Who probably grew up listening to rock music in the 70s and 80s, got into a lot of the bands I got into, and now as a more seasoned person is looking back on the entire repertoire of these bands, including their more recent works, not just the works that came out when they're at their height of their popularity.
Yep. It's got everything.
My goodness. Tooloudtooldmusic.com. All right, so I have to guess where he would put these albums. All right,
yes.
I'm ready.
Your first album will be Euphoria.
I'm going to say 4.
Okay.
I would say he will put this 4. This guy that I don't know, and I'm trying to figure out his personality.
Okay.
Euphoria came out in 1999. It was a kind of more of a return to the sound they're best known for.
Yep.
I actually think it's a pretty good album. I mean, it starts with a good banger called Demolition Man.
Mm-hmm.
Promises is sort of a good mid-tempo song. It's kind of along the lines of Animal or Photograph. Speaking of sappy songs, it has a good power ballad called Goodbye. It's got a couple fun songs like All Night and 21st Century Sha-La-La Girl. I think To Be Alive is a pretty good ballad. Guilty is another good, pretty good mid-tempo song. Euphoria, I think, is a solid album, but I think a lot of people maybe wouldn't like it as much, so that's why I'm going to say it's 4. Okay. Without knowing the other ones you're going to give me.
Yeah, there you go. Zach's got it up on the screen for the people that are watching on YouTube, so follow along. Next album is X.
Last. That's going 5.
Okay.
That might be that's not a great album. There's 13 songs on that album.
Mm-hmm.
I actually would say 6 of them are good or very good.
Yeah.
The other 7 aren't that great. They got a bunch of people to help them write songs for that album, including people who had worked with non-rock acts, like, even Britney Spears and things like that. Now was the single off that. It's pretty good. 4 Letter Word is a good rocker that came off that album. You're So Beautiful is kind of a fun mid-tempo rock song that sort of has their cutesy romantic angle to it. Torn to Shreds is a decent ballad off that one. I think Scar, which I think is the last song on that album, is a pretty good, very classic sounding Def Leppard song. But front to back, this isn't an album I would listen to a lot.
Okay. Your next one here is On Through the Night.
Okay, I'm going to put that 3. I mean, that's their first album, and this is what somebody in the Nasty had said it's their best album. I don't think it's a great album. It shows some promise.
Yeah.
Wasted is probably the best song on that album. It also has Hello America and Rock Brigade, but they haven't really found their sound. To me, they kind of sound a lot like AC/DC and less like what was going to be peak Leopard. But I think for some people who like more of the sound from the late 70s as opposed to what they got into the 80s, which maybe this guy does, so I'll say that's number 3. You might totally wreck me here with what I only have 1 and 2 left.
Yep. Slang.
Oh, he probably doesn't like Slang, but I got to put it 2 now. Slang is not a bad album. They departed from their traditional sound in 1996, sort of as a reaction to grunge and how 80s rock was being crapped on. But there's some really good stuff on that album. I mean, I think Work It Out is one of their 5 best songs, which was on Slang. I think the title track is a fun sort of somewhat sexual song, if you don't mind me using that word.
Never heard of that word before.
You know, like it's not a bad album. Some of the stuff really works, but he probably would have had Slang behind on through. Okay, so I got to put this last one number 1. You didn't pick any big ones.
Hysteria is number 1.
Hysteria 1, which I think. So now that I know the list, I still think this guy would have to have Hysteria as the best one. If I were to redo this now, knowing everything, I would say Hysteria, On Through the Night, Euphoria, X, and Slang is probably what it actually is.
Reid,
yes,
you went 100%.
I got it right. 100%. I got it first try.
100%.
Yes.
Where's the?
Play all the happy music you can.
There you go.
That's actually how he had those 5.
That's exactly how he had it. I was watching you go. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna nail this. I thought once you got to On Through the Night, I was like, he's gonna put this 2, and then he's gonna put Slang 3, and then I'm gonna have to tell him that's all you gotta do is switch it. But no, you nailed it. So you had 5 was X. X was ranked a 3.5 out of 5. Rated a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Euphoria was 3.9 out of 5.
Oh no! Wait, I had Euphoria 4 though.
Yep, I'm going 5 to 1. So
X was 3.5 out of 5. Sorry, I wrote it in the wrong spot.
Euphoria 3.9.
Yeah.
On through the Night 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Slang 4.5 out of 5.
Oh, he really likes Slang. Okay.
And Hysteria 5 out of 5.
All right. So what was his actual top 3 though? Hysteria, Pyromania, High and Dry.
3 was Hysteria. 2 was Pyromania.
Yeah.
And 1 was High and Dry.
So okay, not surprising.
Yeah, all of them 5 out of 5s. Wow. Do you know what his last album is?
So it's not X.
Nope.
What else would it be?
It's 13 albums. Sorry, 13. That was 12. 13 he's got.
Well, I would say Diamond Star Halos, but I don't know what he would put last.
Diamond Star Halos is 12th out of 13.
Retroactive?
Nope.
Songs from the Sparkle Lounge?
Nope.
What am I missing? Self-titled from
Adrenalize.
Oh yeah, a lot of people don't like Adrenalize. Adrenalize. Sometimes I listen to it and I'm like, this is so cheesy, and other times I listen to it and I'm like, it's just fun glam rock.
Yeah.
It was a weird follow-up to Hysteria because it was almost a step back, I think, in terms of maybe their professionalism or their development. But I think if you know what an audio cassette is, I think side 2 of Adrenalize is actually better than side 1, which is not what you would expect from albums of that era.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well, you know who hates the song "Let's Get Rocked"? Jay Onright.
Really
hates the song "Let's Get Rocked." Like hates it.
How do you know that?
Because he told me.
Oh,
yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he thinks it's freakish how much I like Def Leppard. Well, this was fun, Ben. I got to talk about Def Leppard and songs and all this kind of stuff.
Teed you up perfectly. It was awesome.
All right, we should start doing this. Well, you're not here much longer.
I'm here till middle of August.
Oh, we'll do some blind rankings with Jay maybe next Friday, and I think there's a Friday I'm away. You can do some blind rankings with him. It's going to be awesome.
I'm game. So.
All right. How do people follow you on X?
On X, it's uninstall. First L's a 1. For the people who know how to spell it, I mean, I've explained it to you a couple times now.
Yeah, it confuses me.
Yeah, on X, it's uninstall first L's a 1. So I'm probably going to change that tag soon, but that's what it is for now.
Ben, thanks for coming in. Give Ben the intern a thumb up on YouTube if you haven't clicked that like button already. Here comes the coop.
The oil stream.
I just want to point this out too. In college...
Elks release their injury report ahead of Sunday's game against BC. Javon Leake and David Beard are available for the game. Leake, a full participant in practice, while Beard was limited with a calf issue. And we see Robbie Smith being ruled out with an elbow injury. Tune into the Green and Gold kickoff show. Matt Iwanek, J-Mail, and preview the action starting Sunday at 4 o'clock right here on EST. And tonight, Sask hosts Calgary. That one gets going at 7 o'clock. Well, in hockey news, the Stars have hired former Oilers skating coach David Pelletier as their assistant coach. Pelletier spending the last 11 seasons in Edmonton. And for the Sharks, they've signed former Oiler Jeff Skinner to a 1-year, $3 million contract. In baseball, the Jays look to bounce back in the win column, opening a series with the Athletics just after 8 o'clock. Max Scherzer takes them out for Toronto. And in West Coast play, the Riverhawks and Lefties showdown in Port Angeles. First pitch at 7:30, while the Cactus Rats look to sweep their 2-game series against the Bulls. First pitch at 7:05. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The oil stream.
I just want to point this out too. In college, it went from 6 goals to 8 goals to 26 goals. A huge jump. Again, guys, I don't think Joaquin and I are sitting here downing this kid. We're not. I just think, just like the Ty Emberson expectations, remember at the start of last year, were through the roof, and all we said was temper those expectations.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's even worse for this kid. I think we need to pump the brakes, people.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Everyone knows when you need a truck now, you call Dawn.
That's right. You call us, Frontier Cartage, when you need driver coverage or have a truck that's down.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you've got way more freight to move than you thought.
You call Dawn from Frontier Cartage.
When you need a truck that's available and ready to start anytime you need.
You call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826. 587-222-5826.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. What is this, Coop?
It's called Good Love.
Okay, well.
Is it too sappy for you?
Well, I'm just saying, it's not what I expected on a Friday afternoon at the Def Leppard concert. That's all.
Oh.
I know we were not going to play any Leopard, but I thought we like the upbeat stuff, especially going into the weekend. That's all. Though I guess that one has its place. It's all right. It wasn't bad. Got a limerick here from Bronco Nick, emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We love getting your limericks. The Double E are prepping for the Lions, dissecting game film like ions. Let's cheer for a win. To boo is a sin. Might buy some pizza tonight. Hawaiians? Jeez. Pretty good for Bronco Nick, who I believe won our Elks tickets yesterday. All right. If you're in the nasty chat, give us a thumbs up. Well, I didn't play my version of the song here.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
I know a lot of people can't function unless they hear that version of the song. We want to get to 100 for this show in mid-July. We're halfway there. Show's not even a third over, so keep clicking away. If you haven't already, give us a thumbs up. Let's see how high we can get to. Jason Milne, by the way, is off today. We'll be back together on Monday. The Cube is here. Starting Monday, we said we were going to do it. We're doing it. It's ref week. We're going to have an umpire, a basketball ref, a junior hockey ref, former NHL ref, already booked. We're still lining up a couple other things, but we said it during the season. We said it when refs were getting criticized during the playoffs. Why don't we have a ref week? Humanize some of the officials, have them tell their story, have them give their perspective on maybe how to deal with angry coaches, players, fans, all that kind of stuff. And I think we're going to ask all of them about how do you develop young officials? Because let's face it, it can be kind of a thankless job. And there's a lot of attrition that a lot of young people who get into officiating their sport of choice don't stick with it because of some of the abuse and all that kind of stuff. Jim in the nasty chat says free Slurpees today. What you were telling me that too, Coop. What's the deal there?
Yeah, it's 7-Eleven Day. I don't know if they did more previous to this, but every July 11th, because on the calendar it says 7-Eleven, you get a free small Slurpee. I remember back in the day, it used to be you could get like a whole Rubbermaid full, like you bring whatever container.
Fill up your gas tank.
Exactly. Yeah, fill it up with Slurpee and it'll fuel you throughout the day. But today it's just a small free Slurpee, so which is good. Free things are good,
Still
right?
decent. So Jim, thanks for passing that on as well. It is time. Even though he's not here, we're still doing Jay's Play of the Day.
It's Jay, it's Play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's Play of the Day. It's Jay's Play of the Day. Jay's Play of the Day.
All right, it's presented by Play Alberta. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instance, and sports betting all in one place. Players can get a $50 casino bonus by depositing $20 and using the code EST Casino. You can get a $50 free sports bet by depositing $20 and using the code EST Sports. Don't forget to use your game sense. All right, what we're going to do for Jay's Play of the Day is we're going to combine this, so to speak, with the Jay and Matt's big play of the game for the Elks game on Sunday. So here it is. Elks to score 28 or more points and to win. Justin Rankin to score a touchdown. And Steven Dunbar to get 3 or more catches. Okay? So the Elks got to score 28 plus and they have to win. Rankin gets a touchdown. Dunbar gets 3 or more catches. A lot has to go right, but certainly doable. I do the odds in the, I don't do the plus or minus odds. Mine are set up, whatever it is, to 6.8 to 1. So that's pretty good. You could bet $5 and win over 30. So that's pretty good. Jay and Matt's big play of the game. That is Jay's Play of the Day, presented by Play Alberta.
It's Jay, it's Play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's Play of the Day. It's Jay's Play of the Day. Jay's Play of the Day.
Great story coming up from Elk Point, Alberta, to the National Hockey League, to coaching in the AHL. Mark Letestu, a guy I've known a long time, recently hired as the head coach of the Colorado Eagles. He's going to join us after the 4 o'clock break.
The Lock Shop.
For Trey, what have you seen from him that he's improved most with Trey Ford?
What's really impressed me the most this year, especially the last couple of games, is him standing in the pocket, making reads, delivering the football to different levels, and not leaving early. I just think he's gotten more comfortable in there, and that comes with comfort within the offense.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
If you aren't wearing a Connect belt, what are you waiting for? A one-size-fits-all belt with a smooth, hole-free track system makes it adjustable for the perfect fit. With fully customizable options, you can choose your belt color, material, and buckle to suit your style. 100% Canadian owned and operated, Connect belts are designed for work, everyday wear, and even a round of golf. Check out the large selection of men's and women's styles at www.knktbelts.com. Connect belts, the perfect fit every time.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
The Canadian Brewhouse is turning up the flavor this summer with our new summer feature menu. Try our jerk chicken skewers, Cajun shrimp tostadas, and street corn salsa. Bold bites made for patio season. Get them while it's hot. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
For the Elks, Javon Leake and David Beard are available for Sunday's game against BC. Leake being a full participant in practice this morning, while Beard was limited with a calf injury. And in addition, Robbie Smith has been ruled out with an elbow ailment. Matawanek, Jay Milne got you covered with the Green and Gold kickoff show this Sunday to tee up the game. That goes live at 4 o'clock, only on EST. And tonight, the undefeated Riders at Forno hosts the Stamps at 7 o'clock. And Jeff Skinner is now a Shark being signed to a 1-year, $3 million deal. Coming off a season with the Oilers, recording 29.16 goals in 72 regular season games. 1 goal, 1 assist in 5 playoff games in Edmonton. Also on the move, former Oilers skating coach David Pelletier has been hired by the Stars to have his first crack at being an assistant coach under Glenn Gulletson. Baseball action sees Toronto and the Athletics open their series. Jays naming Max Scherzer the starter. First pitch at 8:07. The Riverhawks are also in action against the Lefties for the first of 3 games. Edmonton sits 2 games back of the Bells for first in the North Division, dropping a 3-0 game against the Bells last night. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
So I just want to remind everybody, we got live programming over the weekend here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. until noon, Hello Hockey, Tom Gazzola, Sean Bell. 8 a.m. Sunday morning, VIP Golf Show with Murray McCourt and Curtis Stock. 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon, the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. That's with Matthew Iwanek and Jason Milne, leading you to that 5 o'clock game between the Elks and the Lions. And then they're on after the game as well for the Green and Gold post-game show as the Elks go for their second consecutive victory. We'll be talking more about this game throughout the afternoon here on the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne. Kurleigh Gittens Jr. is going to join us. I want to take a look at the stats for the 2 Canadian quarterbacks who are expected to go head-to-head. I guess not for sure that Nathan Rourke is going to be playing, but I think that he will. And Trey Ford coming off a very efficient game in that win over the Ottawa Red Blacks. All right, we're going to bring you voices of the game for Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork with a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff. We're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. Always a pleasure to talk to this gentleman, and always great to see him to continue to excel in his post-playing career. He is now the head coach of the Colorado Eagles in the American Hockey League. It is Mark Letestu checking in. Mark, it's Reid. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing real well, Reid.
Thanks a lot for making time for me. Now, where are you right now? You've been busy being a ball dad, or what's going on?
Yeah, we just pulled in the driveway, so it's about a 6-hour drive back from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. So we're finally back in Columbus after an eventful week of baseball, which is always fun to be a part of.
How big was this tournament that your kid was in?
I mean, there's probably 30 or 40 teams in it, but just the settings, these beautiful turf fields, Ripken facility right in the kind of the heart of Smoky Mountains. It's the facilities are something my son gets to play on. I'd never seen a turf field till I moved down here. So there's no fear. They don't know what a bad bounce is. Everything's a true hop. So they live quite the charmed life. Okay. Well, sounds like a fun experience for sure. Hey, congratulations on the new job here with the Colorado Eagles. First of all, how does that sound? How does that feel to get a head coaching opportunity in the AHL? Yeah, it's, I don't know that it's certainly sunk in yet. Maybe when I get down there and see the staff and the players and put the tracksuit on and see the locker room, maybe it'll really sink in. But certainly the phone is ringing a lot more. I've been getting assaulted for the last 3 or 4 days with whether it's congratulations or people interested in being on the staff. And then, actually dealing with that and staffing, there's a few openings that I had to help in putting the staff together. So there's some of the responsibilities have changed. Certainly the time demands have changed a little bit, but I'm still just trying to enjoy the summer with my family, and I'm not totally certain that the position's all the way sunk in. So, look, I know you and I have had these casual conversations before, even when you were still playing, about maybe one day becoming a coach, and now you're doing that. But when does it click? Because I think 2021 you were in the AHL with Columbus's farm team. Something has to click in a guy's head. Wait a minute, I can be the guy. I can be the head coach. You have to want to do that. When did that start to click for you that, geez, I think I could actually be a head coach someday. I'm ready to do it. I don't know that the head coach part necessarily clicks right away. I think coaching in general maybe came to me early. Sometimes, whether it was Todd McClellan or, he had said publicly that I'd make a good coach. So you start thinking about it. When I went through my heart condition in Winnipeg, Paul Maurice gave me an opportunity to kind of shadow the fourth guy, really see if it's something I enjoyed. But I've always understood the game. Always understood from a systematic level why you do things. I think that's probably why I was able to have any sort of a career. So once you kind of understand the game, it's about being able to articulate it to people. And I've really had to try and focus on that and grow about trying to explain the game and see if you can actually teach it to young men. So I think being an assistant coach and taking on just a small piece, whether it's special teams or, a pre-scout or in general, just discussions about maybe what I had gone through and how you can relate to players. And I've kind of gone through that the last 4 years as an assistant. And, was very fortunate to have a head coach that empowered me and gave me a lot of responsibilities that after you kind of go through that, you get very comfortable in your assistant coach role. You're going to the rink every day, kind of how things are, how you're going to teach it. You have success with it. To the point that the comfort maybe kind of gets in the way of growth as your career goes on and you're looking for a new challenge. And the last few days have been uncomfortable, and I think that's good. I think it's a good feeling that hopefully you can grow with, and maybe, X amount of years down the road, you get very comfortable in it and there's a new challenge that's waiting for you somewhere else. All right, so I'm curious, and there, I know you probably can't reveal the entire process, but when you have a job interview for a head coach, what kind of questions do they ask you? Yeah, and I've had discussions now with coaches, whether it was prepping for the interview process or even during, even after, and it seems like organizations are different. Some people would like you to present, pretend that they're a player and you're going to present something that you're passionate about. Sometimes it's just a casual conversation like you'd have with a friend, and you're just going to talk hockey, talk shop, talk about maybe how you'd handle different situations, philosophically, what you believe in. So I think the interview process varies wildly from team to team. And being ready for all of that can kind of be a bit of an anxious process, trying to collect all the information and maybe think you have an answer to just about anything that's going to come, but ultimately just going through it, and being confident and just trying to show you the other team or whoever's interviewing you, who you are and what you're about. And hopefully at the end of that process, you feel good about it. And in this process, it certainly did.
The American Hockey League is an interesting league because I feel as if there's that split responsibility where you want to win, you want to have a winning team, you want to sell tickets in that market, but it's also a heavy responsibility to develop players for the National Hockey League. Does that make it tough as a coach, or do you not think about that? Do you just think about the lineup that's going to win you every game, or do you have to sort of think, I need to put some of these guys in the NHL as quickly as possible?
No, there's definitely duality to it. There's always directives, whether it comes from the management or maybe ownership in some situations is just maybe you weigh one heavier than the other. But I personally believe that you can accomplish both. I think NHL coaches, have been around a few now. Obviously, Columbus has changed coaches quite a bit recently, and every single one of them want winners. Nobody wants just talented players. I think the league is full of talented players, and you can find talent in a lot of places when it comes to hockey, but finding winners and players that have gone through some grind in the American League, or whether it's junior or players that show up in the big moments. So I think the more that you can expose those players to big moments at whether it's junior or the minors, you find out the players that coaches want. And I think so. Winning, I do think, is very important. That being said, it's my responsibility as the minor league coach to allow those players to make mistakes and to learn from them, so that when they do get to play in front of Jared Bednar, they are detailed, because that's how they're going to get their next shift. There's the margin for error is just too small when you get to the NHL to allow players to play through mistakes. And there's too many talented players to cycle through, so you have to make sure they're detailed. They're providing a winning brand of hockey, so that when they get there, they can earn, the NHL head coach's trust to get their next shift. And that's ultimately my job.
Mark Letestu joining us on the Reid Wilkins Show, now the head coach of the Colorado Eagles in the American Hockey League. Of course, no secret, Mark and I have known each other a long time, been doing a lot of these types of interviews over the years. A couple more for you, and I know you just touched on Todd McLellan, but when you look at some of the coaches you've had, is there a quality or two that stands up from a Todd McLellan or a Richards or whoever, where you say, I hope I can emulate that. I can hope I can be the way he was when he addressed the team?
Absolutely. I think there's every coach I've ever had. You're always taking the inventory and maybe some of the better qualities that you want to take with you, and then also recognizing maybe some of the qualities that you didn't like. For me, Todd was the best coach I had at explaining why. And I thought that was pretty powerful. It wasn't just do it. It was, this is why you're doing it. It made you understand the actual qualities in the system that helped you be successful. Paul Maurice was probably the best coach I've ever been in the room with just delivering a message in the fewest amount of words. So there was just the way he presented. So you're trying to find a way with all these coaches, and Todd Richards is somebody I spent a lot of time with. I seen him when he was a young American League coach to when he was then an established NHL coach, and I've seen growth. You know, he wasn't the same guy. He found a way to connect with young players and older players. And so there's always qualities that you're trying to take. And I heard from a coach one time that the best coaches are usually the best thieves, and that goes with systems and drills and the way they talk to players. And I think that's the way a lot of coaches grow. You're taking ideas, making them your own, and selling it maybe in your own style.
All right. And then where do you stand on, because we've always had this debate, and let's face it, there's been stretches with the Edmonton Oilers, including, I think, one of the teams you were on, like that they didn't have good first periods. And we'd always have these discussions, why aren't they prepared to play? And I used to work with Rob Brown, who was like, that's on the players. Like, if you need to go slam your head into a pop machine to be ready, go do it. He had a teammate on the Penguins who would read the newspaper like up until 30 seconds before they went on the ice. Where do you stand on a coach's role to have the players emotionally intense enough to play a game? Or maybe you just got to step in if you feel there's something lacking.
Yeah, I think if you're in my case, there's 72 games. I don't think you're going to get the Herb Brooks miracle speech every game. I just think it gets tired. You're never going to be able to motivate them, go out play the Red Army. I believe, especially at the pro hockey level, there is some responsibility that lies on the players to be excited and ready to play every night. And at times you're going to go through ruts where, maybe you need to get the cattle prod out and, dust off the chops and really try and inspire. But for the most part, those players are expected to be ready to play. And I think you instill those habits in practice. And again, I have a very young group and they're impressionable, but I think if you can instill that readiness to practice on a day-to-day, starting a game on time, it's a habit, just like goal scoring is, and you work on those kind of things. So I think if you're casual on your day-to-day preparation, it's going to leak into games, much like a lot of things. So I do believe there is a heavy burden on the players to be ready to play, especially in a competitive environment that you get paid to be. And certainly I think that's where coaches can step in. You give them the means, you make sure they're prepared, but poking them and getting them to be excited about being hockey players and playing every day, that's something I guess you can talk about, but you can't actually get them to be.
Mark, thanks as always for being so generous with your time on my show. I'm very happy for you. Congratulations on this opportunity. I hope it goes incredibly well. And thanks for joining us right after driving for 6 hours. That's maybe the best part, that you still did it. So I really appreciate it, buddy.
No, I hadn't had anybody to talk to. My son slept the whole way, so I had a lot of words ready to go. So thank you. Appreciate you for having me on again.
Right on. Thanks, Mark. That is Mark Letestu joining us, now the head coach of the Colorado Eagles. Look, I make no secret of the fact that I've known Mark a long time, interviewing him as he was like probably 17, playing for the St. Paul Junior B Canadians. He went on to Bonnyville, was the AJHL MVP as a 20-year-old. Kind of wasn't in touch with him as he got into his pro career, but then I think kind of reconnected to him when during the lockout he went and became an assistant coach with the Pontiacs until the season got going again, and then a few years later he wound up with the Oilers. A very hardworking guy, certainly a pretty incredible career, and now at the age of 40 he becomes a head coach in the American Hockey League. So great to have him on the show. As you can tell from that and other interviews you've heard, pretty well spoken, pretty intelligent. I think pretty thoughtful, pretty aware of what's going on around him and what he needs to do to help his teammates and now to help the players that he's coaching. So that is Mark Letestu checking in. Really good to have him on the show. We'll be following the Colorado. Well, I'll be following the Colorado Eagles once the season starts in September, October. All right. You can get in touch, of course. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. That's the email. You can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. If you are there, give us a thumbs up as well. And you can also text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. I believe if you are watching on YouTube, Coob, did I scratch myself? I think I'm bleeding on the outside of my nose.
Oh,
I am a little bit. I got to dab that off.
Wow.
We need a cut man.
An
like in
injury.
boxing.
Where's our first aid kit?
I need a corner man.
I'll get some
I need
Vaseline
some
there, Reid.
Vaseline and a bandage.
Can't overdo it like GSP.
I felt something on my nose and I kind of brushed it off and I was like, oh, I think I just scratched myself.
Oh, it happens to the best of us. I mean,
yeah. Thankfully, I'm not easily embarrassed because I do clumsy, silly things all the time.
Bloody hell, Reid.
But if you're not watching on YouTube, then you don't have to see. We could make it sound worse than it is. Oh my God, he's gushing blood. All right. Yeah, that was Mark Letestu on the show. Kurleigh Gittens Jr. from your Edmonton Elks is coming up in about 20 minutes. Dustin Nielson will check in from Regina. Good early season game. I guess we're getting into the midseason in the CFL between the Stampeders and the Rough Riders coming up tonight. Our off-topic topic for William Huff: which actor would you cast as Superman? Bad casting decisions only. Danny DeVito and Kevin James stand out for me, I think, as suggestions. And the one you had, Coob, was awesome.
Oh, Tommy Wiseau. I mean, that's a wise one. He's a terrible actor, but coming in from Hank, a weird one. Nacho Libre, Jack Black.
Oh, Jack Black as Superman. Yeah, that's a good one.
Al Pacino. Yeah. That one coming in from Bones.
Yeah, that'd be a very intense. I wish I had I don't have a Pacino impression. There's some people. I think Bill Hader does a pretty good one. I don't even know, but he kind of has that. He's trying to get that deeper voice.
Yeah.
I know that's not a good Pacino, but it's like Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm. He's played a lot of different roles as of recent.
Pacino would probably say, he wouldn't say Lex Luthor. He'd really emphasize the or. I think he'd be like, Luthor, I'm coming for you, Lex Luthor. And I know that's a horrible Pacino, but you have to say.
I get the idea though. And then another fun one from Grown Ups: Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler as Clark Kent / Superman.
That sounds like a good SNL skit.
Because he does a lot of weird voices and characters, right?
Yeah.
It would almost have to be Adam Sandler as Opera Man, as Superman.
Yeah, and he has the abs drawn on, they're not.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't get in shape for the movie, but he's just kind of. That would be a good one.
Has that Happy Gilmore 2 come out yet? Because it's not in theaters, right? It's just on Netflix?
No, it's just coming out this summer, I think.
It hasn't come out yet? Okay. But they have the cast, Betty. The cast ready, right?
Yes, they do. Oh, at the end of this month, on the 25th. So just in a couple weeks' time. Exactly. To the date, 2 weeks from now on Friday.
Well, I'd like to go see the Superman movie in theaters. The one thing, it's probably really long. What's the runtime? Let's check your.
Yeah, because there's lots of stuff going on.
It's only 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
So that's not bad. This is a lot of these movies. I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. Part of the reason I haven't seen it, it's 3 hours long. Ooh. And it's not my attention span. It's just finding 3 hours. I know one of my buddies said he watched it. He watched it in 2 nights.
Ooh, yeah, you can't see it. I might have a question for you.
For buying, we'll do it buying or selling?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it buying or selling for Damon Bunting. Coming up, here's the Coob with a sports update.
Ahead of Sunday's game, the Elks release their injury report. Robbie Smith is out with an elbow injury against the Lions, while Javon Leake and David Beard are available. Leake, a full participant in practice this morning. Beard being limited with a calf injury. And on tap tonight, it's Riders and Stamps kicking off. EST's CEO Dustin Nielson on the call for that one. And down south, former Oiler Jeff Skinner is off to San Jose, signing a $3 million deal for next season to play with the Sharks. Skinner had 72 games in the regular season in Edmonton, having 29 points for the Oilers. And it's David Pelletier joining the Stars as their assistant coach under Glenn Gulletson. Pelletier spending the last 11 seasons as the skating coach for the Oilers. And for the Jays, they face the Athletics just after 8 o'clock. Max Scherzer takes them out for Toronto. While in Port Angeles, It's the Riverhawks meeting the Lefties for the first of 3 games. First pitch at 7:35, Energy City. Then eyes the sweep in a 2-game series against Lethbridge. Action gets going just after 7. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. That's 780-988-1717. Buying or selling for Damon Bunting up next on The Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric.
The commissioner of the Canadian Football League, Stuart Johnson.
One of the surprises, or one of the a newness for me, tailgating varied from market to market, but certainly was a focus of each market. When I walked around in Edmonton and got a taste of, by taste, I mean the literal taste of that. I don't know if I've eaten that much meat that quickly in my life.
The Nielson Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by Southport Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Now that's an intense one, Coop. There we go. Reid Wilkins, Zachary Kubish with you today. Jason Milne is off. We are in the banquet studio. The banquet summer feature menu is here. Bacon wrapped pickles, spicy Korean noodle bowls, and cocktails like the Pink Lady and Blueberry Hibiscus Smash. Try now at the banquet. Get real. Play hard. Great to have Mark Letestu on the show. We're going to have Kurleigh Gittens in about 15 minutes from the Edmonton Elks. We're going to have Dustin Nielson checking in from Regina. Mark Majot will talk some superhero movies and Superman. He's from the MCTV podcast. You hear that here on ESTV. He does that along with Corey Graham, so we'll have some Friday fun there. I'm going to Def Leppard tonight, so I'm ready for that. You can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up as well. Let's get to at least 100 today for this Friday afternoon show. We are on pace to do that, but you can't sit on your thumb. You got to get in there and click it. All right. And the off-topic topic for William Huff, who should play Superman in a movie? Bad casting decisions only. We've had some pretty funny suggestions, so we'll keep going with that as well. Good stuff. Coob, are you tailgating? That's what I was trying to think of. Are you tailgating?
Yes, we will be.
What do they call that again in the parking lot? Tailgating.
There's no gates, or I don't see any tails. So there might be a gate to get into the tailgate, but yes, this Sunday ahead of the Lions game,
we will have
EST will be down there.
We'll have a presence.
I think Benny Thomson and I, as well as YouTube Trev, will be set up right beside the stage. I believe it's Wrecked Betty's on the stage. I know they have a new tailgate band, so that's my second time this season. Wasn't there for the home opener. Was there last week. It was a great time. We're set up right across from the Spirit of Edmonton, and we will be giving away some chips, water, and you can come talk with us, get a picture if you'd like. Couple fans have got it, and we're selling scarves as well.
Good stuff. And again, maybe you're going to Art Walk this weekend. Look, selfishly, I plugged my dad's art. He's in front of the Scotiabank, so it's 10 to 5 today, tomorrow, and Sunday. My dad will be there till about 6 today because he's got to wait for me to pick him up. I drove him today. But Art Walk's great on White Ave, kind of in the central part, takes up a lot of White Ave. A lot of great local artists out there, including my father. So you can say hi to him if you're out this weekend. All right, I believe Coob has a buying or selling for me. I didn't know you were going to do this, Coop. This is exciting. Buying or selling is presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate.
Well, this came to mind during our conversation before the break, talking some long movies,
fresh
some
into
short
your mind.
movies. Yeah, I know.
This is a fresh sprouting of an idea.
It's growing.
It's like you got a little leaf sticking out of your head.
Yeah, like a little, I don't know what.
Little twig branch. A little
twig
branch.
branching spig.
Yes.
Whatever it's called. But no, buying or selling, 1 hour and 30 minutes. An hour and 30 minutes is a perfect length for a movie.
Selling. Hour 45.
Hour 45.
I think if you have a good story to tell, you can tell it in under 2 hours. But I think 90 minutes might be a little rushed. I know it depends on the movie, on the format, on the story. I get it. Some movies in and of themselves can be epic or you want a longer running time. You want to tell the audience, settle in. We're really going to get into something here. A lot of the biopics, as they're called, about somebody, they tend to be a little bit longer. I get it. If the Superman movie came out and it was 90 minutes, I might think, where's the rest of the movie? Like, what did they miss out developing something? 2 hours and 10 minutes, I think is fair. Now, that probably includes the credits. So the runtime usually includes the closing credits, which can be around 10 minutes themselves. I think if I saw Superman and it was an hour 50, I might think that's perfect. Yeah. Probably paced well, not too much extra in it, but still tells a nice, complete story. But I think 90 minutes, for a movie of this genre, of this caliber. Oh my God, they have the whole plot on Wikipedia when I'm looking at the runtime. I got to get off of that.
They got everything there. Yeah. They're already spoiling the movie. Why even go?
I could just read the plot to the movie right now.
Ooh.
What is the early critical response here?
I know there's a dog in the movie.
Yes, his dog, I believe Crypto is in. I think the dog's name is Crypto.
Okay. And is that from a previous
He's been
comic?
in some of the comics.
Okay. Has he been in a Superman movie before?
I don't think so, but I don't know for sure.
He's cute.
On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 82% of 321 critics' reviews are positive. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 68 out of 100 based on 57 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. So 68% is not... That's like slightly above average?
Yeah, it's like a, B minus, C plus?
Yeah.
It's not terrible, but
it doesn't
critics,
get
I never
me,
trust
it doesn't get me extremely fired up, and we'll do fired up with Mijo a little bit later for Gemco.
Right. Well,
but it's not. If it was coming in, if it was coming in at 40%, I'd be like, I'm not even going to go see it then.
Buying or selling, critic reviews hold more weight than viewer and public responses.
That's a really good question. I think it would depend on three things for me: how badly I want to see the movie. There might be some movies that I just want to see in the theater, and I would go even if the reviews are bad. Less so than earlier in my life. But I would say if I really wanted to go see something, I would go regardless of what I heard about it.
Yeah.
I would say if a movie was really poorly reviewed, like I would have gone to see Megan 2.0 in the theaters. Especially with my dad. We like the cheesy sort of horror / somewhat comedy films. But Megan 2.0 really got bad reviews, so I'm like, okay, we're not going to push it.
How bad is really bad? Like, what did it get? 30%? Like, sub 50, I wouldn't even waste my time to go see it in a theater.
Let's
but
quickly go on
from
Wikipedia
critics,
for Megan 2.0.
For critic reviews, I think if it's anywhere like 50 to 55 range in the early release of a movie, I would still want to go see it, right?
So on Rotten Tomatoes, Megan 2.0 is 57% positive.
Okay.
And on Metacritic, it got 55 out of 100.
See, yeah, from critic standpoint,
so that's
I would put
okay.
less
It's
weight.
not a
Yeah.
disaster.
Mhm. And I would still want to go see if it was a movie that I was excited to see, like you were.
But
Megan,
there are
right?
certain friends who I know I have similar tastes with that if they said, Reid, you will love this, and I saw it had a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, I'd probably still go. I would trust them that they said, you know what, it's getting killed. The reviews aren't great, but it has stuff in there you will like. Go check it out. Then I would go. But I do look at critic reviews. Maybe I don't read individual stuff anymore. I mean, you used to go on the Edmonton Journal and read the review, you know? It's different now because you can just get the compiled stuff like Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic. But it does influence me, especially since I don't go see a lot of movies anymore. I don't know if I would want to waste time on something that is probably bad when I can wait to get it at home.
Yeah,
what
that's
about
fair
for
enough.
you?
I always take a look at the reviews, especially, you know, when there's lots of conversation surrounding a movie. I'm not a big movie goer. I did see Lilo and Stitch the past week, but if there's one big movie that I'd want to go see, which there hasn't really been a couple this year, I always go look at the ratings. Even if it's an older movie, when I'm trying to look for something to watch,
right?
I look at the reviews or the percentage or whatever, which is mostly positive, like 83% or whatnot. But I always focus on the audience score. I don't really go off critic reviews. So I would weigh them way less than an audience review. If the audience review is below 50, I'm probably not watching the movie.
Rip City Step says, one time I saw a restaurant in Mexico that had a sign, don't trust the reviews, try us for yourself. I don't know if you'd want that.
Not with the restaurant. No,
that's funny.
thanks.
That's really good. Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Gaming made easy anytime, anywhere. With Play Alberta, you'll get a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your phone, tablet, or computer whenever works for you. Download the Play Alberta app today and get started with a $150 casino bonus. Just deposit $20 with promo code EST Casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. If you're on playalberta.ca or on the app, click on sports, and then you'll see EST specials. Click on that. I mentioned the big play of the day for Jay and Matt for the Elks game on Sunday. That one is a fun one. Pretty big payoff if everything they have there clicks. Dustin Nielson to talk CFL coming up at 5. In the very next segment, though, a guy who's going to be playing on Play Alberta Field on Sunday against the BC Lions, Elks receiver Kurleigh Gittens Jr. coming up.
The Elks released their injury report after practice today, and for Sunday's game against BC, Javon Leake and David Beard are available. Leake being a full participant in practice this morning, Beard limited with a calf injury issue. And it was Robbie Smith being rolled out for the game with an elbow injury. Tune in to the Green and Gold Kickoff Show. Matt Awanek, Gmail, and preview the action starting Sunday at 4 o'clock only on EST. Tonight it's Sask hosting Calgary. That one gets going at 7. EST's CEO Dustin Nielson on the call for that one. While in hockey news, the Sharks have signed former Oiler Jeff Skinner to a 1-year, $3 million deal. From Dallas, the Stars hiring former Oilers skating coach David Pelletier as their assistant coach. Pelletier spending the last 11 seasons in Edmonton. In baseball, the Jays look to get back in the win column, opening a series against the Athletics just after 8 o'clock. Max Scherzer takes the mound for Toronto. In West Coast play, the Riverhawks and lefties go at it down in Port Angeles. First pitch at 7:35, while the Cactus Rats look to sweep their 2-game series against the Bulls. First pitch for that one just after 7. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they have plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Up next, Elks wide receiver Kurleigh Gittens Jr. checks in with Reid Wilkins. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Did any of them yell bang as they were landing?
No, the one guy's like the guy who initiated it is yelling and doing like the or whatever. If I had this idiot yelling at me like that and I just threw him in the lake and then he comes back at me and I just pick him up and I dummy him, I would throw a couple of bangs in there too because you know how easy it is.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means three things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Who's up for a prehistoric party? Your Edmonton Elks face the BC Lions this Sunday at 5 p.m. Back due to popular demand, this theme promises to be dynamite.
Featuring Dino Nuggets at concession, the adorable baby dinosaur crawl, and the return of the T-Rex Combine.
It's bigger and better than ever. The EE Prehistoric Party, presented by Payworks. Tickets start at just $20. Score yours before they go extinct at goelks.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Okay, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. It is 4:41, taking you into your weekend. Hope you have a great weekend planned. I certainly do. Def Leppard tonight. I'll be spending time with my dad at Art Walk on White Ave. Who knows what I'll be going to the Elks game on Sunday at 5 o'clock when they play the BC Lions. Already the second meeting of the season between these two teams. Of course, BC beat the Elks 31-14 back in week one. BC has had a lot of success against the Elks since 2021, though I guess a lot of teams had, because the Elks are trying to build up here and become a playoff team once again, and a pretty encouraging performance against Ottawa a few days ago. To discuss more about the green and gold, I'm pleased to be joined by receiver Kurleigh Gittens Jr. Kurleigh, it's Reid. You've been on my show on the phone in the past, so we got the video on YouTube, so nice to see you. How are you doing? Kurleigh, we can't hear you. Let's try again, Kurleigh. Can you? How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing? Can you hear me now?
We got you. I think that was on our end. So
okay, awesome.
We get the illegal procedure penalty on that one. We're not having it ready to go. How was practice today?
It was solid. It was really it was a good way to end a work week, and we feel good about going into Sunday. But obviously, there's we still got 2 days, so there's still more work for us to do.
Well, you mentioned feeling good, and I had Serezna on the show 1 week ago today when you guys were still 0-3, and I even thought from listening to him and some other interviews I heard with you guys that the team attitude and the team belief was still in a pretty good spot, even though it was 0-3, but actually getting that win and not having to say, hey, well, we played well, let's keep working. Like, how does actually getting that win, if at all, change the vibe around the team?
We always believe in ourselves, and we believe in the work that we put in each and every week. And obviously, winning, obviously, that's a good thing, and it just helps us. It just instills more confidence within the room, within the building, and we just feel good. And obviously, we know we're far from where we need to be, but that's the beauty of football, and that's the beauty of the CFL. The CFL. league, right? You don't make the playoffs after 3 weeks, right? You're not the best team you're going to be at the end of the season, right? So we're really just working each and every week, trying to, play complementary football and just, be that, or grow to be that team that we want to be come end the season.
Well, and you mentioned complimentary football, and maybe the best you guys have looked in your 4 games this season, at least in my opinion, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, I thought was the first 20 minutes against Ottawa, because you got a couple of offensive touchdowns. The defense didn't allow anything, and you got a punt return touchdown. Like how sharp did you feel you guys were in all 3 facets the first third of the game against the Red Blacks?
I feel like we played a pretty good game. Obviously, there's certain things we still need to correct on. And like I say, that's the beauty of football. You're never perfect, but we're thriving to be, perfectionists. We all want to play the perfect game, but we know that's, damn near impossible in football, but that's what we're aiming for. And I feel like we started fast on Sunday, and we had momentum going into every quarter, and we were able to finish and play off of each other and feed off of each other, and that's really what what we're trying to do every week.
Now you got one of those touchdowns on a receiving touchdown where it's almost a handoff, right? Because that pass from Trey, I don't even know if it goes a yard. That's the play. What do they call it? Is that a jet sweep, or what do they call that now?
Yeah, it's called a jet sweep. It's just it's a forward pass. That's why they kind of count it as a pass and and as a reception. So no complaints from the receiver or the quarterback. That's just the easy way just to get us involved.
When you're running that play, because I watched the replay as well. When I watched the extended highlights for the game after I saw it in the stadium, and I thought, I wonder what Gittens has to do to disguise the fact, because you want the DBs to think, oh, Kurleigh's going to the end zone. He's going to try to get me 15 yards deep in the end zone. Do you have to try to be a little deceptive on a play like that as a receiver?
A little bit of, a little bit of acting, a little bit of kind of, like I said, just a little bit of acting, but ultimately it's just, it works well with our run game, because we got a lot of guys that I don't know if you watch, like obviously you watch this, but I don't know if you really pay attention to like the receivers, motioning down the line. We do a lot of things to match each other in the pass game and the run game. So it's pretty much just, me doing pretty much what I'd be doing on certain run plays, just coming down, making sure, I kind of protect the edge, and, from there, just obviously as a pass play, and, just do the rest.
I love that stuff. I talk about watching film, and I always ask football players about watching. Like, I don't know if you know Jed Roberts, but he's an alum, and he did linebacker, some D-line, and he said he would watch film himself to make sure he was lining up the same way, whether he was blitzing or dropping, all that kind of stuff. So I like how you put that as well. I want to ask you about some of your teammates too. I mean, you had a great game. Dunbar had some big catches, but how about Rankin out of the backfield? I mean, a couple of huge touchdowns, and he's an interesting story, right? Because he was let go, rejoined the team midway through the last season. What have you seen from Justin Rankin, and can you talk about how he impacts the offense as a whole?
I feel like we got a great run scheme. It starts from a run game coordinator. Obviously, Coach Jordan does a great job as well too. And our O-line, they do an amazing job within the week, because we got a bit of a you could say complicated run game, but those we work hard to kind of try to master it. And obviously, Justin is Justin. He's a beast. Right. And, us receivers and O-line, he's such a great guy. You just want to, do everything you can just to kind of give him the slightest crease, just for him to, just to do what he do. And, he's, I can't, honestly, he's a great guy, man. He's a great teammate. I love him. He's a hard worker. He's a great leader. And obviously, he shows you guys what he can do on a football field. But, it starts with all of us on the offensive side of football.
Yeah. There's a saying in football that the quarterback sometimes can get too much credit when a team wins and get too much blame when a team loses. But nonetheless, that's the nature of the sport. You know what it's like in Edmonton. Trey Ford, been through a lot here, gets the contract in the offseason. and I mean, only 2 incompletions on Sunday, and you've kind of seen part of his development here over the last couple of years. I'm sure people are curious. Your perspective as a receiver on Trey's growth and maybe the steps that are still to come for him.
I feel like, we're all not where we want to be as a football player. And I think that's the biggest thing with him. He's not satisfied, he knows there's so much more, so much untapped potential. And, he's working his tail off, and you can just see the growth. You guys see the growth. Obviously I see the growth because I played with him last year. But, he's just a guy. He's just a person who's, he wants to be great, and, he's doing the right things he need to do day in and day out. And it's showing, and I'm happy for him, and I'm happy just to be a part of it. And, I think there's going to be a lot more games like that. And, one thing, but he's never satisfied. So he knows what he has to do, and he's doing the right things.
So as a receiver, when you have a quarterback who can escape the way he can, I think against Ottawa, he had that one he ran, and I think he had that other pass he flipped. Like he wasn't scurrying all over on Sunday. But what's the adjustment for a receiver once you realize, okay, Trey's keeping the play alive? Do you still have, are there play calls that you have when a play breaks down and Trey's on the run where it's like, hey, now I got to do this?
Yeah, we got basic rules. If we call it scramble rules. If the quarterback escapes the pocket, but obviously, in football, nothing pretty much goes as planned. So sometimes either a receiver forgets a route, maybe an O-line just misses a block. Things happen. It's football. It's life. And, Trey has to, do what he does and, escape the pocket. And at that point, we start working for him. We try to go in the same direction he's going to, but, he might go the opposite direction. So, we're trying to kind of follow wherever he goes and just trying to create some space, and hopefully he sees it. And most times than not, he usually sees us, and, he makes a good pass, and, we make the play. And, those are the things in football you can't teach. And obviously, we need it because, like I said, sometimes things don't go as planned.
Kurleigh Gittens Jr. from the Edmonton Elks joining us this afternoon on the Reid Wilkins Show. 5 o'clock Sunday, they're playing the BC Lions. We've given away some tickets on the station this week as they're going for their second consecutive victory. There's no Wilfrid Laurier Waterloo bad blood left between you and Fords?
No, that's a good question. No, I think, since we're on the same team, on the same side of the football, I think, we're good, and there's definitely no bad blood. But, I love playing football, and he loves playing football, and, it's a good thing.
Yeah, I thought I'd have some fun with him. Because so when you played Laurier,
yeah,
who do you guys beat Waterloo most of the time, all the time? I don't know how much overlap there was with the Fords. I don't think your entire career there.
No, but my last 2 years of my university career, that's when I played against them. But I think within all of my years playing at Laurier, I think Waterloo beat us once. When I was there, at least. But, I was obviously it was very upsetting. But, that's when Trey was the starting quarterback. But it was a good game.
All right. And, of course, the campuses are very close to each other, are they not, in Waterloo?
Yeah, probably 10 minutes.
So the rivalry's alive and well when they play each other.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. We call it a Battle of Waterloo because we're both in Waterloo.
Right on. All right. Let's look at the BC Lions a little bit. You played them already. I mentioned the score, which appears a little lopsided. I felt the game was maybe a little closer than that, and you guys actually had the lead at halftime. What's a key or two here to shifting it the Elks way against the Lions this weekend?
Like Coach been saying all week, we're a different team than we were week one. Obviously, so are they. But all we got to do is play our brand of football. That's physical football, run the football, and just make plays down the field. And we got an amazing defense. They're just getting better each and every week. And right, just sticking together and just sticking to our game plan, sticking to what we do best, and and just executing.
All right. So I'll end with this because I'm always curious about an athlete's mental and physical preparation and their routine. So we're 48 hours and 6 minutes until the game. Do you have certain things, like, are you already counting down to kickoff in terms, okay, this is what I eat tonight, this is when I go to bed, this is what I do tomorrow? What's the routine for your lead up?
Some guys probably have, certain things, but for me, honestly, it's just coming home, especially on the day 3, obviously you said 48 hours before the game and just relaxing, I might have things around the house to do, so I'll get those done. And just, resting the body, resting the mind, and obviously knowing tomorrow is a big day because obviously you want to feel sharp the day before, the game, just so today is it's a big day for my body resting wise, and tomorrow is a big day mentally, just so I feel sharp going into game day on Sunday, and obviously getting the necessary rest the night before, and obviously putting something good in your body the night before, and just feeling your best.
Don't ever ask a broadcaster for nutrition advice. We'll just tell you to eat a lot of potato chips. Will you watch Calgary, Saskatchewan tonight, or do you stay away from that?
I watch, obviously, there's nothing else to do. You're inside your house. So you put the CFL game on, and, just because, you got friends around, ex-teammates and all that. So you're just showing support. CFL is it's a beautiful league because, it's small and, it's pretty much, we all support each other in a way we can.
Kurleigh, great interview. Thanks for being so generous with your time. Again, great touchdown last Sunday. Hopefully you got a major or two in you this Sunday as well against the BC Lions. Really appreciate your time.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Right on. Kurleigh Gittens Jr. checking in from Edmonton Elks. Good interview with him, talking about Trey Ford, talking about Ford's scrambling ability, a little bit on the Laurier-Waterloo rivalry, and just on the fact that the Elks, working to get better every week and feeling a lot better about that since they got a win against Ottawa. Early season game, and I know it's always, it's a long season, but it'd be nice if the Elks could bank some wins. I made a lot last week about the 19-game losing streak in the months of June and July, which they broke. It'd be great to bank another July win here against the Lions. And I get why people say it, but this whole, the season doesn't start until after Labor Day. I don't know about that. I mean, and Labor Day kind of used to be the midpoint of the season. Now you're about 2/3 in at Labor Day. So you can't be 2-10 on Labor Day and think you're going to run the table and be fine, because you won't be. So, the Elks, they want to make the playoffs, and I think that'd be a good standard for them this year. I think that'd be a good step forward if they made the postseason. They got to win games like this against the Lions. So we look forward to that coming up on Sunday at 5, Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. Always happy to hear from you. You can text 780-218-9999. That is the afternoon inbox provided by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. You can email Reid at edmontonsportstalk.com. Here's a Limerick coup from our buddy VR Montenegro. He was looking great at the golf tournament at the Ranch, the EST Classic on Tuesday. It's the end of another glorious week. Let's hope the weekend delivers what we seek. A long drink with gin and a double E win. I'm off to White Ave to ask why Reid is a freak. Yes, if you want to ask my dad that questions at Art Walk, you can do that.
I like that one. I think this is a limerick coming in from Atif.
Okay. Let's give it a try.
A swift trade brought a new face quick and keen. Young Isaac Howard to the oil scene. From Spartan's grand to McDavid's command. A storing touch, a championships dream.
I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty good from Atif,
Yeah, because this first one wasn't really a limerick, and we kind of said, hey, Atif, we appreciate you participating, but we got to sharpen those up a little bit. I think that's pretty good.
He's working the right way, just like the Elks. Getting that first win last weekend and maybe some more.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The win column this weekend.
All right, yeah. And also, so I mentioned you can text, you can email, you can chat with me, or more importantly, just with each other in the Nasty Chat that is on YouTube. Let's keep clicking that thumbs up. Let's see if we can get to 100 by the end of the show. Got a bit of a complaint here in the Nasty Chat from Rip City Step. It was Moo Dang's first birthday yesterday, and Reid never mentioned it. Pardon me, I gave a half burp on camera. Is Moo Dang that little hippo?
It is, and
what
I'm
is he called? A pygmy hippo? What are they called?
Yeah, miniature hippo, pygmy hippo. What is moo? Dang, I know what it is, but it's a certain type of a miniature hippo. It's called a PYG.
That's a pygmy hippo. So
okay,
I did
was
actually
like,
remember something.
Yeah,
and it's like the size of a cat or a little dog, or is it bigger now? Why was it famous? I don't even know.
Because it's a cute little hippo. I should have had that as the name the animal.
Well, there's still time.
I guess there is.
There's still time. You keep clicking the thumbs up. Keep clicking the thumbs up. Let's get to 100 in the final hour of the show. Share the show with other people and encourage them to check us out and click that like button on YouTube as well. Here's a guy I like coming up after the 5 o'clock break. Dustin Nielson's going to check in.
2 guys and a
What do you
goalie.
think Bowman's sell job to McDavid was about the goaltending? Hey, that comes up, right, in the conversation, right? Don't you think? No.
I don't think it does.
So if you're Connor,
Unless
they're sitting there being like,
asks.
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like,
But I don't
Connor
think
would
he's
be like,
the kind of guy that goes, what are you going to do about our goaltending?
yeah, what do you do about Stu? It seems like a dick thing to ask.
does.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win a trip to Osheaga with the Banquet in Aperol. We're sending one lucky guest to Montreal with flights, hotel, and 2 tickets to one of Canada's hottest music festivals. Enter by July 26. Details in store or on the Banquet app. Get real. Play hard.
You know Dawn. Everyone knows Dawn. Dawn from
Frontier Cartage. That's right, it's me, Dawn from Frontier Cartage, where we're setting the standard for cartage service in Edmonton and beyond, offering city cartage, Alberta highway, short haul deck, and more. My team and I are bringing our years of industry experience and expertise to every mile.
Join Dawn and her boys in a new chapter in transportation excellence, dedicated to exceptional service. Call Dawn at Frontier Cartage, 587-222-5826.
At Mind 360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind 360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind 360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
For the Elks, Javon Leake and David Beard are available for Sunday's game against BC, Leake being a full participant while Beard was limited in practice today with a calf injury. Robbie Smith also being ruled out with an elbow ailment. Manawanna, Jamie Olney tee up the action this Sunday. Tune in at 4 o'clock for the Green and Gold Kickoff Show live. Only here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tonight, the Riders clash with the Stamps at 7. Sask undefeated at 4-0 on the season. Calgary 3-1. Dustin Nielson on the call for that one. And Jeff Skinner is now a Shark, taking a 1-year, $3 million deal. Coming from the Oilers after having 29 points, 16 goals in 72 regular season games, adding 1 goal and 1 assist in 5 playoff games to boot. Also on the move, former Oilers skating coach David Pelletier has been hired by the Stars to have his first crack at being an assistant coach in the NHL under Glenn Gulletson. Baseball action sees Toronto and the Athletics opening a 3-game series. Jays naming Max Scherzer the starter, with 5 other games just about to get underway. Yankees and Cubs with their series opener. New York sitting 2 games back of the Jays for first place in the AL East. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, let's check it out. All right, thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. It's 5:04. Going to Def Leppard tonight. Oh, less than 4 hours away. My buddy is already there because there's like music all day. I think Joan Jett is before Leppard. Maybe I'll see some of Joan Jett, but really Leppard is the big attraction for me, so that'll be pretty fun. In the Nasty Chat on YouTube, that's where you can post your messages for me and for each other. Somebody says I'm disrespecting Mood Dang, the little pygmy hippo. Oh, the big uke, the Mood Dang disrespect is ridiculous. Terry in the Nasty Chat, who earlier shared with me that he doesn't like any Def Leppard after their first album, says R.I.P. CFL, especially in Toronto, Calgary, and Edmonton. The attendance is embarrassing. Where's the new commissioner these days? The new commissioner was just in Edmonton. He's been going to every market, I believe, through the first month of the season. And he was on the Nielson show yesterday. So the new commissioner is out there and is doing interviews. Terry, I would agree that there are attendance concerns in several CFL markets. Fair comment, including Edmonton. I think the team has to get better. I would say blaming the new commissioner or suggesting that the new commissioner is disengaged from the fan base or unaware of the problems, I don't think would be accurate. But that's just one man's opinion. My goodness, Dustin Nielson, the owner of this very station and host of the Nielson Show every morning, is in Regina. Now, if you're on YouTube, what a view! Like where are you? Like, are you on the field?
Yeah, I am actually. I'm on the field. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yeah.
I'm on the field. Yeah.
Maybe boost him just a bit, Coop, but we can hear him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know I'm on the field. Sorry, there's some music playing here, but I was down here talking to some guys, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I got to hop on. So yeah, there's Mosaic. Ready to go, so it should be good.
This is in trouble because you told, like, I'm a little bit of a jerk with Ashley. I'm just like, hey, come on my show no matter what you're doing, and you're always like, okay, I'll do it. And you're like, I'll probably be in the booth, and I'm like, that'll look incredible. But for everybody on YouTube, this looks even better. You're right on the field. I don't know how much of you heard. I read that comment about the new. I mean, he's out there. He's trying to figure stuff out. That's an ongoing issue.
But did somebody? I missed the comment. Did somebody say something?
Well, somebody said that the attendance in Edmonton and other markets is embarrassing. Where's the new commissioner? And I said, well, he's out there. Your early impressions of Stuart Johnson and maybe some of the besides year-long fantasy, some of his primary missions that he's trying to achieve here early in his tenure.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. I think he's exactly what this league needs right now. He's a businessman. Like, they didn't need another former player. Nothing against Randy Ambrosie, but they didn't need another former player to help take this league to another level. They needed a guy. In fact, I think he's the perfect guy for the job because he's been around the league from a business capacity for 20 years with Bell. So I think he's perfect for the job. He's just gone around to all 9 markets listening to fans. And look, I know it's easy to bitch about the attendance in Edmonton, but the league average around the league is 23,000, which is a pretty good number in 2025 when people really don't want to go out and do things. This place here today is supposed to have 28,000. Now there's a bit of an air quality issue. We'll see what ends up happening. It's super smoky here right now. But yeah, like the attendance in Edmonton doesn't suck because of the league. It sucks because the Elks have sucked for basically, I don't know. I've been in the city for 17 years. They haven't done anything in 15 of them. So if Edmonton had been to 5 straight Grey Cups, like Winnipeg has, and Winnipeg sold out 8 straight games, if Edmonton had been to 5 straight Grey Cups, there would be 30,000 people at Commonwealth for every single game. So if you can't see that, then it's probably not worth having the conversation, to be honest with you.
I'm wondering too, and I wish, because to be fair, I think outside of Winnipeg and Saskatchewan and maybe occasionally in Vancouver, sure, you turn on the TV and you're like, man, I see a lot of empty seats. But if the new commish and I don't want to put you in an awkward situation here because you are doing games for TSN, but if the new commish can secure a good new TV deal with TSN and perhaps other partners, does that drive the revenue more these days than attendance does? Like, can the CFL survive mediocre attendance if they have a strong TV deal, I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah. I mean, they have. Like, if it wasn't for the TSN TV deal, and you can ask anybody in the industry this, not just somebody who calls games on TSN, if it wasn't for the TSN TV deal, the league would be in dire straits right now. Like, they need the TV deal. Simple as that. The TV deal basically, I think, pretty much covers all the salaries around the league. Like, and it's going to go up. I mean, it's just how things work. They're going to get more money on their next TV deal. So TV deal is extremely important. But I also like some of these stadiums around the country seat 33,000 people. And there's just not many events in general that are getting 30,000 people out, right? And with the exception of a football game, every single time it happens, people expect it to be packed. And it's just, that's not how things are nowadays. So, but you have to have a winner. I mean, the Riders are off to a 4-0 start. They're going to have one of their best crowds in a couple of years here. But as I mentioned, the Bombers, Calgary. You know what? Calgary's better than they were last year. Those numbers are slowly going to go up. I would expect the crowd in Edmonton this Sunday to be better than last Sunday because they won a game. So, I think a lot of it has to do with results. The TV deal will probably be the most important thing for Stu, which is why I think it's perfect that he's going to be the one doing it, because he's been on the other side of TV deals for a few decades now. So he would know probably what he can milk out of whoever it's going to end up being.
All right, Dustin Nielson joining us from Regina. And this game tonight, this is a good early season matchup. Saskatchewan, I think, you're closer to that. I think they were expected to be pretty good. I thought Calgary might stink, quite frankly. And not only are they winning, they destroyed the Blue Bombers, who maybe didn't have their best night. What are some of the if people are sitting on the couch watching tonight, if they're not going to Def Leppard like me, an element or two or a player or two to pay attention to this evening?
Well, I did think the Riders are going to be good. As long as Trevor Harris stays healthy, the Riders will be good. They were last year when they had him, and then he got hurt and they fell apart. He's coming back. They're coming off a bye week. Harris is going to be back. He's going to be healthy. If you're watching the game tonight, you're not familiar with Trevor Harris. He's top 20 all time in CFL passing yards, so you should be. But just watch how quickly he gets rid of the football. For young quarterbacks, this dude knows exactly where he's going with it every single time. It's very impressive. And then Vernon Adams Jr. on the other side. Both this number 1 and number 2 running backs in the league going out of here too. AJ Ouellette, Dedrick Mills. That should be good. I've watched the starting safety for the Stampeders, Damon Webb. He's outstanding. The most outstanding defensive player in the league last year, Roland Milligan, is in the secondary for the Riders. And then, the Philpott kid. He was drafted 5th overall a couple years ago. Has dealt with some injuries. I think there's a lot of promise still there in his game because he had a slow injury start to his career. But yeah, he's a guy that you could definitely be watching for tonight as well. And then my favorite, Super Mario Alford, one of the best returners in the history of the game. He's a farmer, if you can believe it. He has a family farm back in the States. Maybe he takes one back tonight. I get to lose my mind, Reid. Who knows?
Okay, I know you got to go. I got to close with a fun one, though. I'm going to Leopard tonight. It's well known that I like Leopard because I make it part of my on-air persona as well. Who is your... you're a busy guy because you work a lot and you got a family. I have a life of leisure outside of work. Well, even at work, I'm pretty leisurely. Who is your Def Leppard, though, that you would try to see as many times as possible?
There's an old country band, not old, but a country band named Emerson Drive that I've seen 4 or 5 times. The guy, I would probably keep going to see, this is not going to tie it nicely, but I've seen Eminem once. I'd go to a bunch more Eminem shows. I love that guy. Trying to think who else. We're going to see Creed next month. That'll be good.
Oh, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, Creed's coming up. More details on that. We got something cooking for Creed, so that should be a good time. I've seen Nickelback 3 times. I'll tell you this one concert that I've never seen that I would really like to see, and this is full-blown nerd alert, but anybody who's followed us for 15 years will know it's Weird Al Yankovic. I'd really love to go see Weird Al.
I saw him once.
Actually, we got a family that are friends of ours are going to a show just south of the border, and they've seen him 11 times. So I want to be that guy.
He puts on an awesome show. As do you whenever you call the game. Thanks for joining us from field level. And I know you're busy, but thanks for hopping on the good old Reid Wilkins show. Have a great call tonight, and I'll see you Monday.
Yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. See you later.
Dustin Nielson checking in from the CFL on TSN and from Edmonton Sports Talk, the Nielson Show, 6 to 9 a.m. every weekday morning here on EST. And, of course, he owns the station. So awesome that he came on. This should be a good game tonight. I guess I'm not going to watch this one because I'm going to Def Leppard, but I think it's going to be a fun one to take in. This new TV deal is going to be interesting. I wonder if it's all TSN again. I wonder if Rogers gets involved. I wonder if streaming services get involved. I mean, we're seeing NFL games on Prime, right, Coob, on YouTube. So I wonder if that might be an option for the CFL as well. So that's going to be interesting. Look, it's the attendance certainly in some markets is not great. I agree that it doesn't always look great to turn on and see a lot of empty seats in some cities, not every city. Does that scare people off from supporting the league? I don't know. I think that might be an oversimplification of the problem personally. But I mean, again, here in Edmonton, they've been bad. They've been bad since 2021. Really, in 18 and 19, they were quite mediocre. I mean, I think in 2018, they collapsed in the second half of the season and missed the playoffs. They got into the Eastern Division crossover with a mediocre team in 2019. And thanks to an epic game by Trevor Harris, got into the East Final, but that wasn't really a very good team either. So, I think that it's been a while since the Elks or Esks, whatever their name has been, have been pretty good, have been a legitimate Grey Cup contender. Hopefully they're building one here. All right. JB in the chat, appreciate your contributions. Language warning. I'm going to take out the one message where you dropped a bit of a bomb. I think you can communicate without using that word. Fair, Coop? Remember that guy last week? He changed his handle to tell everybody what he thought about my ability. That was pretty funny.
Creative, but you can use your creativity to be positive.
Yeah.
At least do something fun.
All right. 780-218-9999, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We're having some fun here on Friday. More on the Lions and the Elks coming up. And we'll talk some Superman with my buddy Mark Majot from the NCTV podcast when we get back.
Ahead of Sunday's game, the Elks released their injury report. Robbie Smith is out with an elbow injury, while Javon Leake and David Beard are available. Leake, a full participant in practice this morning. Beard limited with a calf issue. And on tap tonight, it's Riders and Stamps. That one gets going at 7 o'clock. Down south, former Oiler Jeff Skinner is off to San Jose on a $3 million deal for next season, while David Pelletier joins the Stars as their assistant coach under Glenn Gulletson. Pelletier spending the last 11 seasons as a skating coach for the Oilers. For the Jays, they face the Athletics just after 8. Max Scherzer takes them out for Toronto, and 5 games are underway in the first, including the Yankees and Cubs runless. In the inning, New York sits 2 games back of the Jays for first place in the AL East. Elsewhere, the Riverhawks meet the Lefties for the first of 3 games. First pitch at 7:35. Energy City also eyes the sweep as they're in action against Lethbridge, playing the Bulls. To wrap up a 2-game series, action gets going just after 7 o'clock. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. Mark Majot from the MCTV podcast checks in on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you in the loop.
The Oil Stream.
I just want to point this out too. In college, it went from 6 goals to 8 goals to 26 goals. A huge jump. Again, guys, I don't think Joaquin and I are sitting here downing this kid. We're not. I just think, just like the Ty Emberson expectations, remember at the start of last year, were through the roof, and all we said was temper those expectations.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's even worse for this kid. I think we need to pump the brakes, people.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Summer in Edmonton means 3 things: warm weather, long nights, and plenty of sports. From the lake to the links, you can boost your summer fun with hundreds of casino games, live betting on your favorite sports teams, and access to popular lotteries. All in one app, anywhere in the province. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 or more with promo code YAG50 to claim a $50 free bet. That's promo code YAG50 for a $50 free bet on us. Redeemable once per Play Alberta account. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Avocado and feta dip, passion fruit cheesecake, and cocktails that taste like summer in a glass. Try the new feature menu at The Banquet. Refreshing, craveable, and made for sunny days. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of The Nielson Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly. Featuring small band and acoustic performances, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly in the venue July 25th. Tickets at rivercreekresort.com.
River Creek Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it. Kayaks, bikes, camping gear? Make space for summer fun with Sentinel Storage. Spend more time on adventures with your outdoor gear and less time looking for them. Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, good to have you along for the ride this afternoon. Reid Wilkins with you, Zachary Kubish as well. Jason Milne is off today. He's back on Monday. Monday we'll be breaking down the Elks game, which is coming up at 5 o'clock on Sunday. And what else we got? Leopard tonight. I'm going to that. My dad's at Art Walk. I think a Nasty visited my dad at Art Walk, which is pretty cool. And we're going to have Ref Week next week. We're going to start with somebody who's been umping baseball for over 40 years in Edmonton and area. That's going to start off Ref Week on Monday. We got a former NHL referee lined up. We got a WHL referee lined up. We got somebody who's reffed basketball in the Olympics who's from the Edmonton area. That's all going to be part of Ref Week next week. So I think that's going to be a fun perspective for many of you. Time to get fired up for Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. No better guy to get me fired up than the outstanding Mark Mageau from the MCTV podcast. It's on EST. He does it with the great Corey Graham. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Reid, how are you doing this Friday afternoon?
I was listening to you guys driving home earlier this week because you're on right after my show. What is it, Monday night? I should know the day. I think it was Monday.
I think it's Monday, yeah.
And I learned so much from the legend Sid Smith when I was at Ched. And he said, sometimes the best radio is when the audience member feels like he or she is just eavesdropping on an interesting conversation. You sound natural, you sound knowledgeable, you sound passionate, you don't sound like you're reading off a script. And that's how I felt listening to you and Corey. It was so good. You were talking Star Wars, you were talking movies. Like, it's stuff I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But you guys were just so natural and so passionate, yet like fun, and you weren't like well, I know this, I happen because I get to be a little bit of a freak with my little stupid knowledge sometimes. Like you guys were. It's such a great natural podcast. So first of all, thank you for the product you guys deliver.
Hey, thank you for the kind words, man. This all kind of started is because Corey and I missed, those Jock Lounge conversations, right? Before and after the show. That's usually when the best conversations happen. And I personally hate gatekeepers when it comes to this kind of stuff. Pop culture should be for everyone, so everyone should be able to watch and listen as much and not feel put down or not feel stupid. So thank you for those kind words.
All right. Now, and you were also talking about, James Gunn and screenplays and superhero movies. I remember some of that. So did you go to Superman last night, or what's your plan for consuming Superman?
I did. I love to go to these movies the night before they get released, Thursday night. I'm of the age where I used to go to midnight screenings. But thank the maker, they don't really have a lot of those anymore. So they just show them at regular times the night before. So I went with my big brother Jordan last night, the guy who actually introduced me to comic books almost 30 years ago. And yeah, man, I can jump right into it. I absolutely loved it. I loved all 2+ hours of what I saw last night.
Okay. And I could tell you stopped yourself there from giving any spoilers, which I think I and many others appreciate. I do want to ask you one question. Because I want to and I know people have a variety of different tastes and interest level of how they like to immerse themselves in a movie. If I enjoy a movie, I like to see who directed it. I know a lot of people don't care or won't remember, but James Gunn did Slither, which is kind of hilarious in its own way.
Yep.
I thought he did very well with the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. I would say especially parts 1 and 3. My opinion. 2 is a little lower in my mind. And then there's Peacemaker, which is quite filthy. I always warn people about that. Yeah. Does Superman have that sort of irreverent humor that he puts into some of his other work?
Yeah. So Superman is a funny movie despite it not being a comedy. I also have this theory, Reid, that every single movie in a theater plays funny, even if it's not a comedy. Even the most intense movies, you'll have a laugh during the movie theater. I think all those movies you mentioned, like Slither, the Guardians movies, and Peacemaker, James Gunn is really good at putting kind of an odd, and despite Superman being the titular character in this one, he puts kind of these odd groups together and it doesn't feel forced. It feels like it's all been natural. And I think that's his biggest skill as a screenwriter and a director, saying, I'm going to make you care about these characters that were throwaway in a comic book 40 years ago, that I'm going to make kind of the focal point of this project. So yeah, it's got those laughs. It's not a comedy, but there is a lot of moments where you'll find yourself laughing during this movie.
So here's one of my things. When it comes to my relationship with comics, I think at some point when I was a kid, one of my parents got me a Spider-Man comic. So Spider-Man became my favorite character. And I often say I don't read DC. It's not because I hate DC. I just never got immersed into it. Yep. I am one of these guys who will say, I don't want to read about a Superman. I want to read about the troubled teenage boy who gets bitten by a spider and his uncle gets shot, and he has to live with that guilt for the rest of his life. Like I got back into reading The Amazing Spider-Man about 7 years ago, and it's still all about guilt, all about Peter. Maybe it's not Uncle Ben. It's an ex-girlfriend. It's Aunt May. It's he's friends with Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. Is that a valid thing for me that Superman should always win because he is Superman? He should kind of be invincible. You know what I'm getting at here?
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I think that's, while Superman is one of the most popular characters for either side, there is still the argument of how am I supposed to be interested in this character that can do everything and cannot be stopped? So I think some of the best Superman stories is they really get behind what it's like to live amongst humans when you know you're more powerful than them, right? Like the disguise, the fact that he has to be this bumbling idiot of a Clark Kent is sometimes more entertaining than when he's Superman himself. Because he's not supposed to be stumbling around the office or spilling coffee or acting like a loser and that, but you know that he has to go over the top to keep everyone away. So I totally get what you're saying. And I think this movie really, I don't want to say they doubled down on it, but they really make it they humanize Superman, which is a really difficult thing to do. But again, I think that's one of James Gunn's skills as a screenwriter and a director. He found a way to make the man that can do everything very relatable, and that's really hard to do.
Mark Michaud joining us from the MCTV podcast. You can get that wherever you get your podcasts. So you guys, 6, are you on another time on ESTV, on EST? 6 o'clock Monday?
I think we're Mondays and Thursdays is usually, I believe, when we are.
I should know all
Easiest
this,
is just,
I'm easily confused.
Yeah, so am I.
So,
easiest is just find us on Spotify and Apple.
True.
And, of course, EST.
So why do you, because I still think one of the greatest achievements in cinema is what Marvel did from the first Iron Man until Endgame. Like they actually put a comic book serial story on screen. Not all the movies are good. Not everything makes sense, but they more or less pulled it off.
Yeah.
Why has DC not been as successful in that regard?
Lots of reasons. It kind of goes back to sports. If you don't hire the right GM and head coach, that makes having success on the field or the sheet of ice rather difficult. And I think DC struggled at times to find the right people to put at the top. A name that I think a lot of fans are familiar with is the name of Kevin Feige. Right. He is the head guy at Marvel. Basically, everything that has happened at Marvel for the last 25 years has gone across the desk of Kevin Feige. But in those last 20 years over at DC, they've had kind of 3 or 4 different overlords. So about a few years ago, DC made the decision to basically hire James Gunn and his producing partner, Peter Safran, and said, you two, this is your baby now. You can do whatever you want with it, but you two are in charge of this studio. And James Gunn, as you mentioned, had some experience in Marvel before. So he got to see the good and the bad of what happens with Marvel. So I think I'm so excited about this new DC universe is that the guys that are running it have really understood what made Marvel stumble. An example I can use without spoiling it is I love the post-credit scenes in Marvel movies. They always set up the next one. It's always a big surprise. This movie has it, but this movie wasn't built upon setting up the next 3 or 4 movies.
Right.
This movie was strong enough to stand on its own. If they never get another sequel, I'll be okay because this movie gave me everything I wanted out of it. Now, trust me, they're going to make a lot more sequels and stuff out of this, but you can tell they intentionally did not want to try to launch 3 or 4 different stories with this movie alone. Like there's no spoiler, there's no bat cowl that shows up at the end of this movie that I think a lot of people were maybe hoping for. No, this is a self-contained story. And I think you got to nail a few of those before you can start telling these long stories. Like the first Iron Man, Reid, if you remember, that stands alone on its own. And they filmed that post-credit scene with Nick Fury months after the movie was done.
Oh, really? So
the first Iron Man was so strong, they built the universe. So I think they're hoping that this Superman can be so strong that they can then build their universe based off this.
Yeah, well, and the overall quality of the Marvel stuff has dropped off, even though there is some good stuff. But I watched Captain America, what is it, Brave New World? And it was just like leftover pieces of other things. And it was like, watch for an hour and a half just to see Harrison Ford turn into the Red Hulk. Spoiler, I don't care at this point.
It was on the poster.
Yeah, it's not a great, though I guess Thunderbolts was good. I didn't watch that.
It was.
Okay. Edmonton, we got to talk sports. Edmonton Stingers. We talk about a nice local success story. You and Doug are still doing the games, right?
Yeah, it's a combination of a bunch of it. So it's myself, it's Doug, it's Paul Sir, Kira Lyons has done a couple, Sarah Ryan from Global has joined the team as well. So Paul has been the Eddie Vedder of Stingers broadcasts. While the lineup has maybe changed around him a bit, he's been there.
So they've kind of... Would it be fair to say that this is now Jordan Baker's franchise to run and to coach?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I know there was all this speculation that he was going to go to the Bears. Yep. He might have more control over the Stingers than he would if, and I don't know if he was in the running or not, but if he would have gone to the Golden Bears.
Yeah. So he's been a Stingers employee really much since day one. Right? He transitioned from player to coach to GM, and these leagues they're tricky when you're trying to build rosters. You're trying to deal with guys that are playing overseas in the Romanian league and in China and Russia, and you're trying to piece together this roster, and you kind of have to do it on the fly. And I think what works in favor of the Stingers is Jordan's kind of been around this the whole time. And his associate general manager, Steven Sir, he's overseas. So he's got guys all over the place. So for the Stingers have been able to find just these elite scoring talents, unlike no one else in the league. They found Xavier Moon, who was one of the best players in league history. Right now they have 2 or 3 guys that can kind of score at will. And that's what puts them above. When they can lock in and play defensively, they're one of the top teams in the CEBL. They're on a nice little win streak right now. They're on the road for the next month, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's too bad.
But when going on the road on a 5-game win streak certainly makes it easier to come home, and hopefully they can keep putting up a few of those wins.
Yeah. People are debating CFL rules in the nasty chat, which I'm not going to wade into today. But the CBL with that Elam ending.
Yep.
And at Chet, I interviewed the guy who came up with it. Like, I think it's great because you can't kill the clock, and the losing team can't foul to stop the clock. Like, you got to keep playing.
I love watching the NBA. I love watching NCAA, but even the biggest defender of the NBA cannot defend how poor the last 2 minutes of a close game can be, right? Stop, start, commercial, timeout. That's bad. And I have seen some wild endings with Elam. Like, I've seen teams blow 18-point leads heading into Elam, and there's strategy around it. My strategy is score 9 before the other team scores 9, but there are certain ways you can kind of go about this. And I think this league maybe kind of needed something a little bit unique to set itself apart from it. Just because if you're trying to attract a new fan, again, those close games, while they're exciting when they play, 2 minutes of game time can sometimes take up to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's not good for anyone involved.
Okay, and my last question, and thanks for being so kind with your time here on a Friday afternoon. I'm going to see Def Leppard tonight.
Awesome.
Who is your... Because it's kind of become part of my shtick that I like Leopard, right? And I know people laugh at me, but I don't really care because I love them.
I think you know this. My wife loves Def Leppard.
But your wife loves Def Leppard. Is she going?
She is not. My father-in-law also loves Def Leppard.
But she's seen them before.
Yes.
Who's your Def Leppard? A band you've seen the most, or you just love seeing live, or would see live more often?
It's a great question. When I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was going to a lot of concerts. And a band they're a Canadian band that they always played Edmonton was Alexis on Fire.
Oh.
So I have probably seen Alexis on Fire close to a dozen times, whether that's been at a Warped Tour, at other festivals. I was at a show where they got into a fight with the security guards at Reds.
Oh.
This is going back like 20 years. It's like a famous story around that kind of circle. So Alexis on Fire is probably the band. Yeah, I'd confidently say I've seen them about a dozen times. How many times have you seen Def Leppard?
This is going to be 14 tonight.
14?
Yes. And
how many times have you traveled? Have they all been here? Have you traveled?
No, I've seen them in Chicago and I saw them in Vegas.
Not bad.
I planned to go see them in Vegas. They were in Chicago the same weekend the NHL draft was in Chicago. Well, they were outside Chicago, and the ride back into Chicago cost me about $300 because there was so many people trying to get back. That's another story I've told. But yeah, they've all been Edmonton area. Well, they played Big Valley before Big Valley was what it is. It was rock and roll in the early 90s. So I saw them there. All the rest are Rexall, Rogers, Commonwealth, last time they were here, and now the infield, whatever they call it, the exhibition grounds, or whatever they're calling it.
Is there a show that stands out?
The Vegas show was outstanding.
Yeah.
The sound quality was great, like a 5,000 seat venue made for concerts. Commonwealth was pretty cool, and they sounded good there. That was, I think, almost 3 years ago now. Those two would probably stand out if I had to pick the top two, but they've had a lot of the arena shows where they just they're pretty polished. Like, I know people always this song sucks. Like, but there's a reason they've been touring for 45 years.
Yeah.
You know, like there's bands I don't like, but if they're still going, I'll be like, they're doing something right. They're connecting with the right people. So I don't know if I've ever had a show that was bad. Maybe a couple where they weren't, like the Slang tour, they didn't sound as good, and they were. That was when they had those secret Molson shows, and everybody thought it was going to be the Tragically Hip, and it was Def Leppard, and I think people were throwing stuff at them. But yeah, the Vegas show and having about 30,000 at Commonwealth was pretty special to see them in those settings. You're interviewing me. That's how good you are.
Oh, that's usually what happens during the podcast. It just turns into me interviewing Corey for an hour.
We got to have you on more often because I love talking to you. You're a great guy. You're a great broadcaster. Thank you so much for hopping on the show.
Reid, anytime for you, man. I really appreciate you having me on. Enjoy the show tonight and have a great weekend.
Mark Majot, from the MCTV podcast. Again, look for that wherever you get your podcast. It's on EST a couple times a week as well. He does that with Corey Graham, and they are incredibly passionate and incredibly good at putting together that program. I am coming to you from the Banquet Studio. Avocado and feta dip, passion fruit, cheesecake, and cocktails that taste like summer in a glass. Try the new feature menu at The Banquet. Refreshing, craveable, and made for sunny days. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard. We got the oil understood. We got our words of the day coming up in the final segment. Here's the Coop.
Elks injury report has Robbie Smith out for Sunday's game against BC with a knee injury, while David Beard and Javon Leake are available. And for the Lions, Nathan Rourke is the expected starter, set to make his second straight start after missing 2 games last month with an oblique injury. Tonight, the Riders and Stamps go toe-to-toe at 7. Dustin Nielson on the call for that one. Elsewhere, former Oilers skating coach David Pelletier is headed to Dallas to become their assistant coach, while Jeff Skinner has signed in San Jose at $3 million for next season. In the majors, the Jays and Athletics have their series opener just after 8. Max Scherzer gets the ball for the Jays, and 5 games are live right now in the second inning, including the Cubs and Yankees runless. The Rays up 1-0 on the Red Sox, while the Marlins are down 2-0 to the Orioles. Out west, the Riverhawks challenge the Lefties to kick off their series. First pitch at 7:35. Energy City is also in action as they take on Lethbridge, looking for the series sweep in their 2-game series just after 7 o'clock. This sports update is not brought to you by anybody, but we will be right back after the break with the words of the day and the oil understood for GCL Diesel. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Keith Flaming from the Pipeline Show. We had to bring you on to talk about Mr. Ike Howard. What can you tell our audience about what this player is and what he can bring to this Oilers team?
At the collegiate level, he is a stud. He's a star. He won the Hobey Baker in a year where the field was really strong. Now, whether he's going to be on this top line, maybe we have to temper expectations a little bit.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Just looking at this here, because of the air quality in Regina, the game is being delayed, pushed back to 7:45 between the Rough Riders and the Stampeders. The Rough Riders putting current models show the air quality will begin to rapidly improve, but will still require a short delay to the start of the game. So 7:45 now for kickoff between the Stamps and the Riders. Reid Wilkins with you on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, presented by Play Alberta, your home for online gaming excitement, featuring casino games, live dealer action, lottery, instance, and sports betting. Now with the new Play Alberta app, you can take the fun with you anywhere. Download the app or sign up today to play at playalberta.ca. CA. If you go to playalberta.ca or go open up the app, click on sports, click on EST specials, you'll see stuff put together by our staff and listeners here at Edmonton Sports Talk. So some pretty cool stuff. Into the final segment of the week. Hope you're enjoying the show. I've had a blast bringing it to you. The Coob. I think he has some surprises for me. What's going on here, Coop?
That I do. I was scrolling the interwebs during the show. Had a couple minutes, maybe doom scrolling or whatever they call it. No, but I came across on Twitter that Callaway, ahead of the Happy Gilmore 2 release in 2 weeks from today, are releasing hockey stick shaped putters, which is fantastic. For those on YouTube, you can see it. There's a little ball there that just says, just tap it in. Just tap it in. I think that's pretty cool. I like one because there's a lot of hockey players who are into golf. They're kind of synonymous sometimes, right? Hockey players. Oh, what are you going to do during the offseason? Travel wherever in Barbados. But, golfing, they kind of go hand in hand. And to see Happy Gilmore get some love once again, that's pretty cool. He obviously had his hockey-shaped putter.
Sure.
So the next one here, of course, Jeff Skinner, former Oilers, signing with the Sharks today at a one-year deal worth $3 million. Picture of him and Tyler Toffoli when they are young lads, and they're sported in the red, white, and blue Habs jerseys. The old school Habs jerseys. They're probably like 10 years old in that picture. So they were former teammates when they were kids, but now they'll get to play in the big leagues together in the teal. The future is teal down in San Jose.
Okay.
And also, another picture here, if I can find it. There we go. Papa Wilkie out on Wide Ave.
That's my dad's
for the
setup.
art walk.
Right.
Pretty nice setup.
No, okay. But that's actually not that elaborate. He'll have way more paintings tomorrow. He didn't take everything today. He kept it a little smaller today. I think he only has 9 paintings on display there. He'll have over double that tomorrow.
It's because he's waiting on you.
He'll have another table and he'll have a bigger display tomorrow. Who sent that in?
VR Montenegro.
Well, he went and said hi to maybe he didn't talk to my dad. But yeah, my dad's at Art Walk in front of the Scotiabank on White Ave. Nice. I got to pick him up after 6. Yeah, 10 to 5 tomorrow and Sunday. A lot of talented artists out there. It's pretty, Jay's brother, Alan Milne, is there. So I'm not exactly sure where he is, but if you see an Alan Milne, that is Jay's brother. So that's pretty cool. All right. Thanks for putting those up, Coop. Appreciate it. Time to check out the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel Understood. So you mentioned Jeff Skinner as a free agent. So 10 days into free agency, 11 days, he signs with San Jose. David Pelche going to the Dallas Stars, leaving the Oilers, joining Glenn Gullett's staff as an assistant coach. I know there's a lot of rumors about the Oilers staff and Dustin Schwartz. They're from a team perspective, they're probably going to announce everything all at once they have the staff nailed down. Elks and Lions. So I was looking at some stats here, Coop. Now, Trey Ford has played 4 games. Nathan Rourke has played in 3. But very similar stats for the 2 Canadian quarterbacks, with maybe a slight edge to Trey Ford. I did not expect that. Trey Ford is 78 for 109, 71.6%. Rourke, 61 for 99, 61.6%. So a significantly better completion percentage for Ford. 950 yards for Ford, 925 for Rourke. Both quarterbacks have 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. The efficiency rating, now Ford had a perfect rating last game. Ford's 105.7, Rourke 100.8. I just thought that was pretty interesting because I think Rourke, when he's on his game, is the best player in the CFL. I don't think anybody else can impact and control a game the way he can. And I think he did that to the Elks in week 1. We've seen BC play since week 1. There's certainly some flaws. I think the Elks are going to be able to move the ball. I think it's going to come down to, can J.C. Sherritt scheme a defense to try to stop Rourke? He's so accurate. He can also scramble. We saw that in week 1. A couple of times it looked like the Elks had him, and he got away to keep drives alive. Especially they had that one long drive that started on their 3 or whatever it was. So, but again, if you look at this, you wouldn't say Rourke is obviously the better quarterback than Ford. I think Rourke is the best quarterback in the league. Maybe hasn't always looked at like it. The Lions perhaps didn't look as strong as they were thought to going into the season. I think this is a tough test. I will say this. If the Elks can win on Sunday, and I think they're good enough that they at least have a puncher's chance to do so, if the Elks can win on Sunday, to me, that changes everything about the perception of this team, at least for me. You know, I was kind of labeled the pessimist about the team through the first 3 weeks, and I said, look, guys, I don't think I'm being a pessimist. I'm just saying I'm not going to pick them to win a game until they prove they can win a game. Well, they won a game. They beat Ottawa. Not a great team, but they beat them. They legitimately outplayed Ottawa, and I think they outplayed them in all 3 phases of the game. If they can beat the BC Lions and get to 2-3, which is not a sexy record, but you're back right in there in the race in the West. You're not sitting there, you know, going 0-4 or having one win at the halfway point of the season. It changes everything for me. And then you've also won 2 home games, and maybe you start becoming a team again that can at least assert itself on home field. So it's going to be fun. Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium on Sunday at 5. Our pregame coverage starts at 4 with the Green and Gold kickoff show with Jay Milne and Matthew Wannock, and they'll be on after the game as well for the Green and Gold postgame show. That all ties into the oil understood for GCL Diesel. By the way, you can always text us at 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. All right, Coop, let's wrap up the week. Word of the day.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Geez, my headphones are giving me trouble.
That's okay, buddy.
Oh my
By the way, if you're in YouTube and you haven't already, click a thumb up. Give us a like. Let's see if we can make a last push here for 100.
There we go. I like it. The first word of the day is epigys.
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 Huh. Epigys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this word. Well, Jay always tells me to go with the most simple spelling if I'm doubting myself. Epigys. E-P-I-G-U-S. Epigys.
A little bit too simple there, Reid. It's E-P-I-G-E-O.
Oh, it's one of those. Epigys. Okay. Epa. So epa, I think generally, does that mean external usually? I put it in a sentence for everybody. I'm sorry.
Let me see here. Many common garden vegetables like beans exhibit epigeel germination.
It means they have external sprouting to grow?
Adjacent. Very close.
Yeah, I didn't get it. What does it mean?
Growing on or close to the ground.
Oh, growing close to the ground.
Yeah, the two sentences.
I didn't know
AI
that.
failed me.
That's
well, I guess I
terrible.
failed myself
That's
trying to
terrible.
use AI. But no,
I didn't get it.
Two.
I didn't
You
get
did not get it. The second word of the day. You'll be hearing a lot of that
There's
tonight.
no reason to play that. Just thought I'd play it.
Nope, that's fine. That's fine. It's actually a German word. It's Quatsch. Quatsch.
But it's not an English word? How do you expect me to spell it? Or it's German origin?
German. It's a German word in English.
Quatsch.
Quatsch.
I don't know. Q-U-A-T-C-H. Why not?
Q-U-A-T-C-H?
Yes.
Wrong. Swap the C with an S. You got Quatsch. Quatsch. I don't know.
Well, if it's a
Quatsch.
German word, I don't know how I can expect it to know the definition.
You got to take a guess,
or is
Reid.
it like... Okay, use it in a sentence. I'll try to get at least a half point going into the weekend. Thank goodness I'm seeing Leopard tonight. Something to lift my spirits. This is humiliating.
Oh, boy. All right. Nope, that's the wrong. Hold on. Quatsch. Did I spell it wrong?
Well, you should lose points for not having a sentence ready.
Well, I don't get points. And it's SCH, like my last name, not just CH.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Well, me mumbling and fumbling around is Quanch. It is Quanch.
What are you talking about? I don't even know what word you're talking about anymore.
I don't know.
You said Quanch, and now it's Quanch?
Yeah. Quatch.
Quatch.
I just can't say things. It's all nonsense. Reid, that's the word. That's what it means. It means nonsense.
Oh,
I'm going to give you a free point.
It means nonsense.
Yeah, because what I just did there was
guess
nonsense.
Anything. You just told it to.
I know. Well, I was under pressure, back up against the wall.
You got to have
it's
a sentence
Friday.
ready. You got to have a sentence ready.
I thought I did, and I closed the tab.
Oh, okay.
I know. It happens to the best.
Well, that was a very underwhelming edition of Word of the Day.
Usually is when I do it, Reid.
No, you've been pretty good at it. I didn't know how to spell anything. That's okay.
Well, it's all nonsense, Reid.
All right, here's what's going on. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. until noon. Hello Hockey with Belzy and Gazzola. 8 a.m., till 10 a.m. Sunday? VIP Golf Show with Murray McCord and Curtis Stock. And as I mentioned, at 4 p.m. on Sunday, Green and Gold Kickoff Show with Milne and Awanek, and then they're on after the game as well, Elks Lions, for the Green and Gold post-game show. This was a fun one. We had Kurleigh Gittens Jr. on the show from the Elks. We had Mark Letestu, the head coach of the Colorado Eagles. Dustin Nielson joined us from field level in Regina. He's calling the Stamps and the Riders on TSN. The game has been pushed back to 7:45 because of air quality concerns. Benny, the intern, was here. I did blind rankings. I nailed them. I was perfect. That was pretty good. And Mark Majot from MCTV joined us as well. Fun one, everybody. Hope you have a great weekend. On behalf of the Cube, I'm Reid. Take care.